stop scrolling. Be still. This moment has been written into your story since before time wrapped itself around the earth. This is not an accident. It is not a random video. It is not a coincidence. I led you here. I drew you here. I placed this message in your path because I knew what you'd be facing today, and I will not let you miss what I'm about to reveal. You've been wondering if I see you, if I hear the silent cries, if the delays, the disappointments, the unexpected turns of meaning. Listen carefully, because what you're about to hear is not just encouragement. It's evidence. Evidence that I have orchestrated every step. Evidence that I am speaking, moving, confirming. Every second of this message has been infused with my presence to break lies, shatter doubt, and ignite something eternal in your spirit. So don't treat this casually. Don't walk away thinking it's just another video. If you do, you'll miss a divine appointment I set in motion long before your questions ever formed. I am not speaking generally. I am speaking to you. Right here. Right now. This is a sacred conversation. Heaven is leaning in. The Spirit is breathing through every word. Stay with me until the final line, because if you turn away early, you may walk right past the confirmation your soul has been aching for. I placed every second in order, like keys unlocking truth. If you stop short, you will leave the treasure buried. You've asked me for a sign. You've asked me for a word. You've asked me, God, show me you're still in this. This is my answer. This is my whisper turned into a roar. You did not find this by chance. This is the moment I prepared for you. Watch it. Hear me. Stay until the end. What I'm about to say will shift your direction, and if you receive it fully, it will awaken what no storm can silence. This is not a coincidence. This is me. Now listen. My child, listen closely. This is not an accident. I have orchestrated every moment that has led you here. You did not stumble upon this path. You did not arrive at this threshold by chance. From the very beginning, even before your lungs took in their first breath, I numbered your steps. I sketched your journey across the skies of eternity and whispered purpose into the soil beneath your feet. Every moment you thought was wasted, I was weaving. Every delay, every redirection, every person you met, every tear that fell, I was there. I was working. I was writing something far greater than what your eyes could yet see. You ask, was that moment just coincidence? No, my beloved. I was guiding. You wonder, why did that happen? I respond, because I knew what was ahead, and I was preparing you. You see a detour. I see divine direction. You feel lost. I see alignment. Nothing in your journey has been random. Not a single conversation. Not a single season. I guided you through the heartbreak not to break you, but to remake you. I placed you in that job, in that city, beside that stranger on that day, not by chance, but by my hand. No pause. Breathe in my presence. Look back for a moment, not with regret, but with revelation. Can you see it now? That closed door that devastated you. I shut it to spare you. That friend who left, I allowed it, so your soul could cling more tightly to me. That unexpected opportunity, it wasn't luck. It was a glimpse of my orchestration. That divine discomfort in your spirit, that was me, nudging you away from danger and into destiny. Step back from your assumptions. Lay down the idea that life is a series of accidents. Open your spirit now to the truth. I am the God who authors beauty out of chaos, who aligns every moment with holy precision. Even your missteps, I have redeemed. Even what you called failure, I folded into the fabric of your calling. You think you've wandered, but I've had you in the palm of my hand all along. You thought you were late, but I tell you now, you are right on time. So walk forward with courage, not confusion. Trust me even when you cannot trace me. Let go of the idea that you're behind, or broken, or unworthy of greater things. I declare over you now, your positioning is perfect. Your place is purposeful. The very breath in your lungs is evidence of divine intention. Nothing about your life is a coincidence. Lift your head. Feel my nearness. Let my voice settle your questions. Let my presence answer your fears. I have not wasted a single moment. I have not overlooked a single tear. I have not lost track of a single day. My timing is deliberate. My hand is steady, and I am still orchestrating what comes next. You are not abandoned. You are appointed. You are not off track. You are on holy ground. I have gone before you, and I walk beside you. Every step you've taken, I have seen. Every step to come, I have sanctified. Now rise, my beloved. Trust my map over your memory. Trust my orchestration over your observation. Let this moment awaken something deep within you. Awe, surrender, and the assurance that you have never walked alone. You are exactly where you are meant to be, held, guided, chosen. And this is not a coincidence. This is me. Always me. My child, not one conversation, not one encounter, not even the smallest interaction in your life have been random. Every person who crossed your path, whether they stayed for a moment or for a season, was sent with purpose. That meeting you brushed off as coincidence. It was me. That smile from a stranger, that word spoken at just the right moment, that friend who entered your life just as you felt like crumbling, I arranged it all. Open your eyes. Awaken your discernment. I am not a God of chance. I am a God of alignment. I placed you in rooms you didn't expect, seated you at tables where divine words would be spoken, connected you with souls whose voices would echo my truth. You didn't find them by accident. They were appointments written on the scroll of your destiny long before you took your first breath. You wonder, how did they know exactly what I needed to hear? Because I stirred their hearts. I prompted their lips. I sent them to you on assignment. Even when you weren't asking, I was already answering. Even when you were lost in thought, grieving, doubting, retreating, I was sending my servants, my vessels, my messengers. Let this truth settle deeply within you. I will use anyone I choose to reach you. A co-worker, a stranger, a child, a sermon, a text message that arrived at the exact moment your hope began to slip. I use voices you least expect to carry the thunder of my love. Even in places where you thought I was absent, I was speaking through them. Listen again. Reflect. That wasn't luck. That was me, breathing through flesh to deliver comfort, correction, confirmation. Receive this with reverence. There are no accidental meetings in my kingdom. There are divine collisions, holy interruptions, orchestrated exchanges meant to shift your course, stir your heart, and restore your sight. Some people I send to bless you, some to stretch you, others to awaken you. All of it is intentional. All of it is eternal. To lean into your moments. Pay attention. Look beyond appearances and see with spiritual eyes. Ask me, Lord, what are you doing through this person? And I will show you. Some will teach you to let go. Others will teach you how to love without conditions. Some are there to open doors. Others are there to reveal what must be closed. Trust me, I am speaking through them. Now, step into today with alertness. Expect divine encounters. Speak life boldly when I stir your tongue. Honor the moments that feel small, for they carry the weight of my will. I am not finished sending. I am not done aligning. I will continue to guide, to connect, to intersect your path with glory. You are not walking through crowds. You are walking through divine design. Listen, my precious one. I know the pain of the closed door. I know how it shattered your expectations, how it left you wondering, why not me? But hear me now, I closed that door, and I did it out of love. You saw loss. I saw danger. You saw rejection. I saw protection. That path you were determined to walk would have led you into harm, into delay, into a place that could not carry the fullness of what I've planned for you. So I blocked it. I shielded you. I intervened. You asked, why did they turn away from me? I answer now, because I removed them. You asked, why didn't the opportunity work out? I respond, because it would have stolen what I was building in you. My beloved, you must understand, not every open door is from me, and not every closed door is against you. I am the one who opens doors no man can shut, but I am also the one who shuts what must remain closed. I close doors to protect you, to redirect you, to guide you into paths of righteousness, peace, and purpose. I do not slam doors to punish. I shut them to preserve, to position, to prepare. Pause and reflect. What if that no was my mercy in disguise? What if that silence was the sound of me redirecting you toward something immeasurably better? You don't need to understand my ways, but you do need to trust my heart. My ways are higher. My timing is perfect. My motives are always rooted in eternal love. So do not bang on doors I have sealed. Do not chase what I've released. Do not mourn what I have removed. Instead, ask me where I'm leading you. Open your hands. Let go of what you've been grasping so tightly, and let me lead you into what was always yours. Take courage now. Stand in the hallway of uncertainty and declare, my God is guiding me. Declare it until peace floods your spirit. Declare it until bitterness breaks. I am not the God of confusion. I am the God of clarity, of holy redirection. And I will lead you if you let me. Today, walk forward in faith. Step over what closed with boldness. Look up, not back. What I have prepared for you is ahead, not behind. I'm making a way. I am crafting an opening so specific, so perfect, so filled with grace, that when it arrives, you will understand every no that came before it. What closed was not the end. It was the beginning of something greater. My child, breathe. I know how heavy your waiting has become. I've seen the way you stared at the heavens, wondering if I've forgotten you. But hear me clearly, delay is not denial. What feels like silence is often my deepest work. What feels like stillness is the space where I strengthen your spirit, shape your character, and prepare the ground for the blessing I've already spoken over you. Do not mistake my timing for absence. I am here, more present than ever. I am behind the scenes, moving mountains you don't see, preparing people and places and moments to align with what I've promised. You see the pause. I see the process. You see stagnation. I see sanctification. Let this truth anchor your soul. I am not slow. I am precise. I am not withholding. I am building. I don't rush masterpieces, and you, my beloved, are one of my greatest works. That dream you've been waiting to see fulfilled. I planted it. That desire you've carried for so long. I shaped it. And I will not tease you with hope only to abandon you in the desert. So wait with me. Trust my pace. Lean into the quiet and ask, what are you doing in me? Because I am always doing something. In every delay, I am deepening your roots. In every pause, I am sharpening your discernment. I am not just preparing what's coming. I am preparing you to hold it well. Lift your head. Rest your anxious thoughts. Stop measuring time as loss. Your waiting has not been wasted. Your hope has not been ignored. I heard every cry. I've collected every tear. And I am closer now than you know. Stay faithful. Stay open. Because the door I am opening for you is on the other side of your endurance. And when it opens, you will not walk through it limping with doubt, but running with confidence. I do not delay without purpose. I do not pause without reason. What I have spoken over your life will not return void. It will accomplish everything I intended it to. And now breathe again, my child. Release the timeline. Trust the process. This is not the end. It's the tension before fulfillment. And in this divine delay, I am with you, shaping something glorious. Hold on. Your breakthrough is not denied. It's simply being delivered in perfect time. I know the ache you carry. I have seen you curled inward under the weight of sorrow, wondering if the pain was ever worth it. But listen to me now, for this truth will set your soul free. Your suffering was not in vain. Not a single tear has fallen outside the reach of my hands. Not a single heartbreak has escaped my attention. I am not distant from your wounds. I am the one who kneels beside you in the dust and holds you while the storm rages. You question, why this? I answer with authority, because I saw the fire necessary to refine the gold within you. Because I knew the strength I planted in you would only rise when challenged. You saw devastation, I saw transformation. You saw affliction, I saw preparation. Pain has never been my punishment. It has been my instrument. I have allowed the fire, not to destroy you, but to purify what cannot be shaken. Every trial has shaped your character, strengthened your resolve, and positioned you to carry glory with humility. Do not resent the seasons that broke you open, for it was in the breaking that your true strength emerged. It was in the heartbreak that you cried out with a depth that pulled heaven to your side. I was with you in the betrayal. I stood over you in the silence. I whispered to your soul in the sleepless nights when no one else understood. I was not absent. I was active, carving purpose into every scar. Now rise from the ashes of what you thought would bury you. Place your pain in my hands. I do not waste wounds. I turn them into weapons of compassion and wisdom. What the enemy intended for your destruction, I am redeeming for your destiny. Every bruise, every scar, every sleepless night has been folded into the blueprint of your calling. You are not damaged goods. You are battle-tested royalty. You have survived what others did not. You have endured what hell sent to silence you. Lift your head now. Let the fire you walk through become the testimony that sets others free. Do not hide your scars. Let them speak of my faithfulness. I am the God who brings water from rocks, life from graves, beauty from ashes. And I am still writing your redemption story. Pain did not define you. I did. And I am declaring over you now, what broke you will bless you. What hurt you will heal others. What cried you will carry resurrection power. This is not the end. This is the threshold of purpose. Step forward. Let every ounce of suffering become sacred fuel. I am turning your trial into triumph. Don't stop now, my child. If you walk away here, you'll miss the deeper healing I've prepared for you. You've only seen the edge of my heart, I want to take you into the depths. It would grieve me to leave you standing at the door when I've opened the whole house of my presence. Stay with me. There is more you need to hear, and I won't stop speaking until your soul is restored. You've wondered if I heard you. You've whispered prayers in the dark and waited, only to be met with silence. But I tell you now with divine certainty, every word you've spoken in faith has reached my throne. Every sigh, every whispered plea, every shout of desperation, I have heard them all. You are not speaking into a void. You are speaking to the one who formed your voice. Your prayers do not disappear. They ascend. They are not forgotten. They are gathered. I am not a passive observer. I am the one who listens with infinite compassion and responds with perfect wisdom. When you cried out, I leaned in. When you wept into your pillow, I recorded every tear. When you lacked the words to pray, but your spirit groaned, I translated your silence into sacred requests. I have not ignored your cries. I have not forgotten your petitions. I have simply answered in ways you haven't yet recognized. You assumed delay meant denial. It didn't. I was aligning timing, refining character, and preparing answers that far exceed your expectations. My response isn't always immediate, but it is always intentional. I do not dismiss prayers. I weave them into my divine narrative. So pray again. Not from obligation, but from confidence. Speak again, not because you must, but because you're heard. When you ask, know that I lean close. When you seek, trust that I reveal myself. When you knock, expect the door to open, not because of your persistence alone, but because of my promise. Do not give up. Do not fall into resignation. Do not let doubt steal the power of your voice. You have access to heaven's attention. You have authority in your words when they're shaped by faith. You are not ignored. You are not dismissed. You are my child, and I delight in responding to your voice. Listen now. Answers are coming. Some through people, some through circumstances, others through sudden peace that silences fear. I answer through alignment. I answer through Scripture. I answer through moments you didn't see as holy. But I always answer. Keep praying. Keep speaking. Keep knocking. The heavens are open. The delay is not my disinterest. It is my protection. The silence is not absence. It is my strategy. You may not see the answer yet, but it is coming. And when it arrives, you will know it was shaped by my hand. I am not far away. I am the God who listens. And I am listening still. How many times have you said, if only I had a sign? How many times have you begged me to show you I'm near, to prove I'm listening, to confirm what your heart could barely believe? And yet, I tell you now, I've been sending signs all along. You just didn't know how to see them. That peace that washed over you suddenly. That wasn't your mind calming itself. That was my spirit enveloping you. That Scripture you stumbled upon, the one that pierced your heart and mirrored your exact prayer, that was not coincidence. That was me speaking, clearly, deliberately, intuitively. I have been leaving signs like breadcrumbs along your path. I've been using the ordinary to reveal the extraordinary. I've whispered through creation, the sunrise that melted your fear, the wind that wrapped around you when you were alone, the stillness that settled your soul when no one else could reach you. I was there. I am still there. Do not expect thunder when I choose whispers. Do not overlook the sacred because it came wrapped in simplicity. I speak through songs that find you at the perfect moment. I speak through words spoken by people who had no idea what you were going through. I speak through timing, through dreams, through divine nudges that pull you gently in one direction when logic told you to go the other. I am not silent. I am subtle, but I am persistent. So open your spiritual eyes. Invite me to heighten your awareness. Begin to see me in what you once called coincidence. The parking spot you didn't expect. The delay that protected you. A moment of clarity that interrupted your confusion. I am not hard to find. I am everywhere, waiting to be noticed. Ask me to show you what you've missed, and I will reveal what's been hidden in plain sight. I will show you the fingerprints I've left on your days. I will help you trace back through the timeline of your life and recognize the divine architecture of it all. What you called random was revelation. What you dismissed as chance was me confirming my word again and again. You've never walked alone. You've never prayed in darkness without receiving light. I have been speaking, sending, showing, and I will continue. Start paying attention, and you will see it. The signs are everywhere. Because I've always been here. You've carried shame like chains, haven't you? You've rehearsed your mistakes in the quiet corners of your mind, hoping no one would see how badly you've fallen. But I have. I've seen it all. I've watched you trip, falter, collapse in places you thought you'd never escape. And I'm telling you now, not one failure disqualifies you. Not one moment of weakness removes you from my love or cancels the calling I placed on your life. You believe you've fallen too far. But what if I told you I was standing at the bottom of your collapse, waiting to lift you higher than you've ever been? What if I said the detour you hate is the very doorway I will use to fulfill your destiny? You think brokenness disqualifies you. I say it qualifies you. You think mistakes ruin your future. I say I repurpose them into miracles. Nothing, do you hear me? Nothing you've done is beyond the reach of my redemption. You are not defined by the worst thing you've done. You are defined by the cross I carried and the blood I spilled, knowing every single sin you'd commit and still choosing you. I have not revoked your purpose. I have not changed my mind about you. I knew what you would do before you did it, and yet I still called you mine. Stop punishing yourself for what I have already forgiven. Stop living in the echo of your regret. I do not use perfect people. I use surrendered ones. I take what is shattered and create stained glass windows of testimony. I take what is messy and make it magnetic with grace. Do you remember David? He fell, but I called him a man after my own heart. Do you recall Peter? He denied me, yet I chose him to feed my sheep. Do not tell me I cannot use you. Do not argue with your Creator about your worth. I chose you with full knowledge of your flaws. Now step forward. Bring me every failure, every secret, every shadow. I will not shame you. I will sanctify you. I will take what the enemy meant for disgrace and make it the very stage on which my glory will shine. You are not disqualified. You are being qualified through repentance, through surrender, through grace. Your scars are not your sentence. They are your story. And I will use them to set others free. There is a longing deep inside you that won't let go. A quiet ache that tugs at your soul in the stillness. You've tried to ignore it, silence it, bury it beneath the noise of daily life. But it always returns. And you've wondered, where does this come from? Why would it leave me alone? I'll tell you now, it was me. I planted that desire in you before time began. That dream you keep revisiting, that fire that flickers even when everything else goes dark, I placed it there. You didn't invent your purpose. You inherited it. I carved it into your spirit before you were formed in your mother's womb. I wrote it into the fabric of your being like a seed buried beneath years of distraction and doubt. But now, I am watering it. I am awakening it. I'm calling it forth. Don't minimize what you feel rising inside you. Don't let fear call it foolish or pride label it selfish. If it pulls you closer to your truest self, if it aligns with my character, if it stirs your compassion and drives you to serve, then trust that I am in it. That longing is not an accident. It is evidence of design. You've asked me, is this dream from you? Let me answer, yes, if it bears fruit that blesses others. Yes, if it honors me. Yes, if it challenges your comfort and expands your heart. I don't give empty desires. I give divine assignments disguised as passion. I don't play games with your hopes. I awaken them to reveal the path you were always meant to walk. But hear me. Desire must be refined. It must be rooted in me. Delight yourself in my presence, and I will not only give you the desires of your heart, I will shape those desires into something eternal. I will lead you with wisdom so you don't chase shadows. I will anchor you in truth so you don't build castles on sand. What I planted in you is holy. Water it with faith. Protect it from doubt. Nurture it with obedience. Step into it. Pursue it with reverence. Don't let the fear of failure abort what I've conceived in you. Don't let opinions drown out the whisper of my spirit. I place this in you. I will bring it to life. I know what you've lost. I know the names, the dreams, the seasons you mourn in silence. You stood in the wreckage of what once was and wondered if any of it can be rebuilt. And I'm telling you now, yes, it can. Yes, it will. Because nothing you've lost is beyond my power to restore. You lost love that meant the world to you. You lost years that feel wasted. You lost confidence, joy, innocence, maybe even the will to keep hoping. But I hold all time. I restore all things. I redeem what others have thrown away. I bring back what the enemy has stolen, not just in part, but in abundance. I do not offer shallow comfort. I offer resurrection. I don't just mend broken pieces. I breathe new life into them. I don't replace what was taken with something lesser. I surpass it. When I restore, I go beyond what was before. When I rebuild, I reinforce every corner with strength you didn't know you had. Don't believe the lie that it's too late. Don't let grief harden into unbelief. Come to me with your hands open and your heart vulnerable. Let me touch the places that feel too tender to revisit. Let me pour oil on the wounds you tried to ignore. Let me restore, not just what you had, but who you were before the loss. I have a harvest waiting where you only see barren fields. I have joy prepared where you only feel sorrow. I will return what was taken. I will resurrect what seemed buried. I will restore the years the locusts have eaten, not metaphorically, but miraculously. Trust me to bring it back. Trust me to make it new. Nothing is beyond redemption. Not the people who left. Not the chances you missed. Not the time you think you wasted. I make all things new, and you are included in that promise. Lift your eyes. Let your spirit receive the truth. Restoration is not only possible, it is inevitable when I am involved. And I am already working. You've just seen it. How nothing in your journey has been random. Every step, every detour, every loss I've redeemed, crafted by my hand with divine precision. And now, I invite you to be part of someone else's divine encounter. When you support this mission through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal gift, you are not funding a video. You are sowing into the soul of someone standing at the edge of despair, waiting for my voice. I said, give, and it will be given to you. And I never speak without fulfilling. You've prayed, Lord, use me. This is how I'm answering that prayer, right here, right now. Every gift is a seed of glory that I multiply in peace, favor, and fire. Go now. Live. Give. And let the same God who ordained your steps use you to change another path forever. PayPal link is in the video description. Plant what I place on your heart. You're halfway through, but the breakthrough is still unfolding. Turn back now, and you'll leave the treasure half buried. My voice is still calling, and if you silence it now, you may wander in questions I was just about to answer. It hurts my heart when you stop short of freedom. Press on, my beloved. What's coming next was written for your healing. You don't realize how many times I stood between you and what was meant to destroy you. You never saw the full force of the enemy's plan because I blocked it before it could reach you. You don't know what I shielded you from, and that, my child, is the greatest evidence of my love. While you cried over what didn't happen, I celebrated what never had the chance to break you. You thought the delay meant defeat, but I was stalling the danger you couldn't see. You thought that sudden shift was chaos, but I was removing you from a trap the enemy had laid. You grieved the doors that shut in your face, but I was the one turning the key from the other side, locking you out of destruction. I have never stopped fighting for you. I have never stopped guarding your name, your mind, your future. Understand this. I am not only your father. I am your fortress. I am not just your comfort. I am your covering. I move in realms beyond your comprehension, waging war in silence, winning battles you never knew were fought. That canceled meeting, that breakup, that missed flight, that job that never called you back, it wasn't chance. It was strategy. I removed you from what you thought you needed, and in doing so, I rescued you from what would have drained your soul. Look deeper. Can you not feel it now? The peace you didn't earn. The survival you can't explain. The inner strength that rose out of nowhere. Those were not coincidences. They were evidence of divine intervention. I have been your hidden shield, deflecting every unseen arrow. I have been the silent power that kept your car from crashing, your heart from crumbling, your spirit from surrendering. So stop mourning what didn't manifest. Stop replaying the moments you misunderstood as failure. Trust me when I tell you, I was never punishing you. I was preserving you. I was planting you in safer soil, shielding your spirit from storms that would have torn you apart. You don't have to know all the details. You just have to know me. And I am trustworthy. Let go of the bitterness toward what never came. Release the resentment over what fell apart. I protected you not because you were perfect, but because you are mine. And I protect what I claim. You are not here by luck. You are here because I intercepted danger in the dark and covered you with my hand. Live with confidence now. Walk with holy boldness. What tried to reach you, failed. Because I stood between you and the grave. I fought for you in realms you will never comprehend. And I will continue. I am your deliverer. I am your defender. You are here because I protected you. And I am not done. You've questioned your origin. You've looked at your family, your upbringing, your lineage, and wondered, why here? Why them? Why me? But I tell you now, there was no mistake in the placement of your birth. I placed you exactly where you were meant to be, not because your family was perfect, but because your story required the soil in which you were planted. I do not assign families randomly. I position purpose within the mess. I knew the dysfunction. I saw the silence. I felt the pain before you spoke of it. And I placed you there anyway because what wounded you would also wake you. What disappointed you would also develop you. What you didn't receive I would fill with my own hands. You've carried the ache of unmet needs. You've compared your story to others and felt like the misfit. But I don't compare. I craft. I molded you with layers of resilience, forged in fire, nurtured in contradiction. Your identity was never meant to be a reflection of your environment. It was meant to be a revelation of my glory in the midst of imperfection. You are not a product of generational pain. You are the one I've raised to break it. You are the healing I've sent into your family's lineage. You are the light I placed in the middle of their darkness. You are not a continuation of dysfunction. You are a divine disruption. And I am with you as you carry what they could not. Your family was never the limit of your calling. It was a launching ground for your anointing. Whether they supported you or silenced you, I have used it all to shape a vessel that will not break under pressure. You have been refined in silence, trained in tension, and raised in resistance, not to make you bitter, but to make you bold. Stop cursing your beginning. Start blessing your becoming. I am the God who brings good out of hard places. I didn't need perfect conditions to birth something extraordinary in you. I just needed surrender. And you have given me that. You have grown in places where others gave up. You have survived grooms that were not safe. And now, you carry an authority that only the broken can bear. You were born where you were for a reason. And the reason is unfolding even now. You are not just from that family, you are for them. You are the one I chose to shift the story. You are the one I will use to bring reconciliation, revival, renewal. I placed you there not to suffer, but to rise, and to lift others with you. Your origin is not a curse. It is a calling, and I will use it all. Remember the moment you opened my word and found that verse staring back at you like a mirror to your soul. Remember the chill that ran down your spine, the sudden quiet in your spirit, the undeniable sense that something holy had just happened. That was me. That scripture wasn't random. It wasn't a lucky guess. It was an emotional coincidence. It was my divine communication. My personal letter to you, perfectly timed and eternally precise. I don't speak abstractly. I speak intentionally. My word is living, sharper than any sword, softer than any whisper. I don't throw verses at you to inspire momentary comfort. I direct you to them to anchor you, correct you, build you, empower you. The time you saw the same verse in 3 different places in one day, that wasn't accident. That was confirmation. That was me showing you, I'm speaking. Stop treating scripture like suggestion. Start receiving it as strategy. Each verse I bring before your eyes carries weight beyond what you can comprehend. My word does not return void. It goes forth with purpose, to uproot lies, to silence fear, to ignite faith, to resurrect dreams. I led you to that passage because you were ready for its power. You were prepared to carry its truth. Read with expectation. Don't skim. Don't reduce my revelation to a motivational quote. Invite me into your reading. Ask me, what are you saying? And I will open layers of meaning. I will unlock the depths of my heart. I will speak to your now through words I wrote then. When I highlight scripture, I'm not just informing you, I'm forming you. I am sculpting your inner world to match heaven's reality. I am drawing lines between my voice and your decisions. I am shaping your destiny through every word. Return to those verses I gave you. Write them on your walls, your notebooks, your heart. Don't forget what stirred your spirit. Don't abandon the truth because emotion faded. What I said then still stands, and I am still speaking. Every time you encounter my word, you are encountering me. Every time you feel that quickening inside you, That is my spirit confirming the message. Don't ignore it. Don't second guess it. Scripture is not random. It is revelation. And it is meant for you. You've overlooked too many moments because they didn't shine like miracles. You've discounted the day-to-day as unworthy of wonder. But I tell you now with unwavering certainty, what you call ordinary, I often use to birth the extraordinary. I am not limited to grand stages or thunderous signs. I move just as powerfully in silence, in simplicity, in stillness. You keep waiting for a burning bush, but you've ignored the soft whisper I spoke through the barista's kindness. You expected an angel to descend, but you missed the divine prompting in your own spirit when you chose compassion over convenience. You keep searching the skies when I am working through your hands, through your conversations, through your quiet obedience in unseen corners of the world. Do not despise your routine. Do not curse the mundane. These are the very spaces I sanctify. I revealed myself through a shepherd boy's sling, through a widow's jar, through fishermen's nets, through a carpenter's hammer. I have always used the unnoticed to carry out the unstoppable. You don't need a platform to shift history. You need my presence resting on your yes. You walk past miracles every day without naming them. That breath in your lungs, that smile from a child, that unexpected provision, that sudden idea, all of it echoes my fingerprints. All of it belongs to me. You long for a sign, but I've embedded wonders in the details. Look again. See differently. When you offer me your simple lunch, your time, your small yes, your little dream, I multiply it beyond what you could ever manufacture. When you walk in integrity in places no one is watching, I build altars in the spiritual realm. When you speak a kind word, I release healing. When you pray over your family in the quiet of your bedroom, I release angels. Heaven responds to ordinary acts of obedience cloaked in faith. Stop waiting to feel significant. You already are. You carry my spirit. You house my glory. Every room you walk into becomes a divine environment when you walk with awareness. You don't need to strive to do something extraordinary. Be faithful in the ordinary, and I will do what only I can do. Now listen. I am asking you to see your life through my eyes. That conversation you're dreading tomorrow, there's purpose in it. That daily drive to work, it is sacred ground. That mundane task you've done 1,000 times, I am using it to train you in endurance, humility, compassion. There is nothing wasted when you walk with me. There is no action too small to carry eternal consequence. So step into today not with resignation but with revelation. You are not doing chores, you are building legacy. You are not just raising children, you are shaping warriors. You are not simply clocking in, you are influencing atmospheres. This is my kingdom economy, where small seeds become mighty trees and the last become first. Watch me take your ordinary. Watch me turn it into wonder. You've questioned whether your dreams are divine or just desires formed by emotion. But today, let me clear the haze, the dream that burns within you, the one that keeps rising no matter how many times you try to dismiss it. That dream was from me. It wasn't born of your ambition. It didn't arise from fantasy. I placed it there, deep within the soil of your spirit, before you had language to describe it. You didn't manufacture this longing. It was encoded into your being by my hand. I formed it in the quiet chamber of eternity, assigned it to your name, and placed it inside you as a seed of destiny. And even when life tried to bury it, even when disappointment tried to suffocate it, even when fear told you to abandon it, I kept it alive. Because it belongs to you. Because it belongs to me. You've tried to silence it. You've reasoned it away. But it returns, doesn't it? It visits you in dreams, in restlessness, in tears that come without warning. That is me speaking. It is my breath stirring the embers of something sacred. Do not ignore it. Do not explain it away. I gave you that vision so you would partner with me in its fulfillment. I gave it to you to draw you into a deeper dependency on my power. But hear me, your aims are not just of revealing, they are of reforming. I will develop you as I develop the dream. I will prune your motives. I will refine your focus. I will dismantle the idols that try to attach themselves to the vision. Because this is not just about what you build, it is about who you become while building it. Test the dream, yes, but test it through the lens of my spirit, not the filter of fear. Is it rooted in love? Does it require faith? Will it bear fruit that outlives you? If the answer is yes, then run with it. I will be with you in every step. I will open doors no man can close. I will surround you with favor. I will send provision from unexpected places. I will give you wisdom in the night and clarity in the morning. Your dream is not a burden. It is a blueprint. It is not a distraction. It is direction. Now I ask you to move. Take one step. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Pray over it daily. Nurture it. Guard it. And above all, trust me with it. That dream is not fantasy. It is prophecy in motion. And I will see it through. I see your heart stirring, but this is not the time to walk away. If you close your heart now, you may miss the very word that would rewrite your story. I've waited for this moment with you. I've timed every line to bring you into alignment with your calling. Stay with me. Let me finish what I started. To leave now would be to turn away from a divine appointment. I know the silence frightened you. I know how it pressed against your chest like a weight you couldn't lift. You asked me to speak, but the heavens felt sealed. You begged me to answer, but the quiet only deepened. And so you assumed I had withdrawn. You assumed I had turned my face. But I tell you now, I was there. Not just near, but closer than your breath. I was in the silence, not absent from it. You were waiting for volume, but I was offering presence. You expected answers, but I was cultivating trust. You measured my care by what you could hear, but I was measuring your growth by how you waited. I do not speak to oppress. I speak to transform. And sometimes I choose silence because it becomes the loudest teacher. In the stillness, I was sharpening your discernment. In the quiet, I was drawing your roots deeper. When everything felt paused, I was establishing foundations. You wanted me to speak immediately. I wanted you to learn how to sit in my presence even when your senses had nothing to hold on to. You must understand, my silence is never abandonment. It is often invitation. When you couldn't hear me, I was waiting for you to sense me. When your prayer seemed unanswered, I was aligning what you couldn't see. You have no idea how much I was doing while you thought nothing was happening. Battles were being fought. Peeling was being released. Alignment was being forged. I speak most powerfully when distractions are silenced. I lead most deeply when noise is surrendered. Do not mistake delay for distance. Do not interpret quiet as disinterest. I was closer in the silence than when you felt me in the roar. I was holding you when you thought I had left. I was strengthening you when you felt most fragile. I was preparing you when you thought you were being punished. Now rise with new eyes. Let the silence teach you not just to listen, but to lean. Let it shape how you pursue me, not with desperation born of fear, but with love anchored in trust. I will speak again. I am speaking even now, But what I'm giving you in this silence is deeper than a word. It is communion. It is maturity. It is revelation that will carry you through every future storm. You were not forsaken. You were being formed. You've questioned your standing with me. You've looked at your struggles and your slips and wondered if my love has thinned, if my gaze has shifted, if I've turned away because of what you did. But hear me now with absolute certainty. Nothing can sever you from me. Nothing you've done, nothing you'll do, nothing others have said or failed to say can cancel what I declared over you. You are mine, and I am your God. I saw your entire story before it began, and I still chose you. I didn't call you because you were flawless. I called you because I am faithful. I didn't love you because you earned it. I love you because it is who I am. My affection is not performance-based. My commitment does not fluctuate with your emotions. My grace does not expire with your mistakes. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, and my covenant with you is unbreakable. When you ran, I followed. When you doubted, I stayed. When you rebelled, I pursued, not with anger but with unrelenting compassion. My love is not fragile, it is fierce. My connection to you is not circumstantial, it is eternal. You cannot drift beyond my reach. You cannot fall past my mercy. You cannot sabotage the destiny I have authored. I have engraved your name upon my hands. I have sealed your heart with my spirit. I have woven myself into every detail of your journey. Whether you walk through valleys of despair or climb the heights of joy, I am present. If you forget me, I will still remember you. If you collapse under shame, I will still lift you. If everyone else turns away, I remain unmoved, unmoving, unmovable. So stop fearing abandonment. Stop doubting whether you still belong. You do. You always have. You always will. My love is not a fleeting emotion. It is a force. And it holds you now, tighter than your fears, deeper than your regrets, stronger than the weight of your past. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not lost. You are seen, surrounded, secured in my promise. Not even death can separate you from me. Not guilt, not shame, not time, not distance. I am with you. I am in you. I am for you. Live with confidence, not condemnation. Walk with assurance, not anxiety. Let every step you take echo with the certainty that nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate you from my love. I have declared it. I have sealed it. And I will never reverse it. You've stood in the aftermath of decisions you regret. You've looked at the broken pieces and blamed yourself, thinking you've ruined what could have been. But I tell you now, your failure is not final. Your mistake is not your identity. I take what was meant for ruin and raise it into redemption. What you call a mess, I call the makings of a miracle. You cannot outsin my mercy. You cannot outfail my grace. Every detour you took, every wrong turn, every collapse under pressure, I knew it would happen, and I still said yes to your life. I saw it all, and I still anointed you. Your story is not disqualified by your failures. It is distinguished by how I redeemed them. I do not write people off. I write them in. I write them into testimonies that shake the gates of hell. I write endings. I restore what pride destroyed. I repair what fear fractured. And I do it not with condemnation, but with compassion. You made choices that led to pain. You hurt others. You've hurt yourself. You've crossed lines and broken promises. And yet, I stand here now, not with a ledger of your sins, but with a blueprint for your future. I will build something beautiful from the ruins. I will draw glory out of the ashes. I will use your lowest moments as launching pads for my highest purposes. Do not stay stuck in shame. Do not keep revisiting what I have already forgiven. What matters now is not how far you've fallen, but how deeply you are willing to rise. Bring me the fragments. Lay them at my feet. Watch what I do with surrendered wreckage. I do not patch things up. I resurrect them. I make them new. This is the divine exchange. Your mistake becomes a miracle when placed in my hands. Your past becomes someone else's roadmap to healing. Your pain becomes the oil that anoints others for a breakthrough. Your scars become signs of survival that point to my grace. So stop hiding. Stop disqualifying yourself. I have called you anyway. I have chosen you anyway. I am still writing through you, still building with you, still redeeming every chapter. The page did not end with failure. The story continues with hope, with healing, with glory. Let me use your lowest moment as the testimony that sets captives free. Let me turn what crushed you into the very thing that cultivates courage in others. You are not beyond use. You are the vessel I am filling now, for my name, for my kingdom, for my glory. You didn't stumble here by accident. You weren't scrolling aimlessly. You didn't just happen to land on these words. I orchestrated this moment. I aligned your path with my message. I've been whispering to your heart, tugging at your spirit, preparing your soul, and now, here you are, reading the confirmation you've been asking me for. Yes, this is the sign. Yes, this is the answer. You have asked me, God, if you see me, speak to me. I'm speaking. Clearly. Directly. Personally. I have arranged every detail so this message would meet you at the exact place where you need it. My voice is reaching through time and space to tell you, you are seen, you are loved, and you are chosen. Every line you've read, every word that pierced your heart, it was not crafted by coincidence. It was carried by my spirit. I have been preparing this word, shaping it with intention, forging it in the fire of my presence, just for you. You've asked for direction. Receive it. You've asked for reassurance. Take it. You've asked for clarity. Here it is. This moment was scheduled in heaven. The timing is not late. The delivery is not random. I have been stirring the ground of your heart to receive what I'm planting now. You've been in a season of searching, of waiting, of wondering. And now, I am breaking the silence with a declaration. I have not forgotten you. I have not delayed. I have not ignored your cry. You were meant to hear this so you could stand again. You were meant to hear this so you could let go of what's been weighing you down. You were meant to hear this so your spirit would rise, your hope would ignite, your faith would stretch. I am doing something new, and I am using this very moment as the turning point. Let this word become the seed of new decisions. Let this truth become the sword that cuts through your doubt. Let this encounter become the beginning of your next breakthrough. You are not where you are by chance. You are in alignment with something eternal. Receive what I've spoken. Respond with trust. Move with boldness. This was not a coincidence. This was a divine appointment. And now that you've heard me, follow me. From your very first breath, I have been present. You did not enter this world alone, nor have you ever walked a single day without me by your side. Though your eyes could not always perceive me, though your heart sometimes wandered through doubt, I have never departed from you. I was there when you laughed without restraint, and I remained when you wept in silence. I stood by you in the fire, and I walked with you in the stillness. I have never once turned away, and I never will. I have been more constant than the sun that rises each morning. When you stumbled, I steadied you. When you fell, I lifted you. When you were afraid, I encircled you with strength. When you felt alone, I was closer than your shadow. You have never needed to earn my nearness. It was given as a gift, sealed in covenant, eternal and unshakable. There were moments you questioned my proximity because the pain was sharp and the silence was long. But I was not absent. I was leaning in closer than ever, whispering strength into your bones, planting endurance within your soul. You saw only darkness, but I was the light preserving your way. You felt abandoned, but I was holding you in a love that cannot be measured by emotion alone. You are not an orphan. You are not forsaken. You belong to me, not just in word, not just in belief, but in reality. I am not a concept or an ideal. I am the living presence surrounding you, indwelling you, empowering you. I walk with you into boardrooms and hospital rooms, into lonely mornings and restless nights. My spirit rests upon you like breath upon glass, unseen, but always touching, always near. When you travel into the unknown, I am already there. When you revisit the wounds of your past, I am the balm that heals. When you dream of what's next, I am the architect building what eyes have not yet seen. You are never outside my reach, never beyond my rescue, never hidden from my gaze. I do not leave when things grow difficult. I do not disappear when storms arise. I anchor you through every wave, I cover you through every battle, and I rejoice with you through every victory. Whether you feel me or not, my presence is never based on perception. It is based on promise, and my promise is everlasting. So stand firm now, not in fear but in confidence. Walk forward, not in striving but in rest. Speak boldly, not in your strength but in mine. I am your rear guard and your strong tower, your morning light and your midnight sun. I am with you in every breath, through every change, beyond every season. My presence is not temporary, it is permanent. My commitment is not emotional, it is eternal. Let these words burn into your memory and settle into your bones. You are not alone. You have never been. You never will be. I am always with you. In joy, in sorrow, in movement, in stillness. When you know where you're going, and when the path vanishes beneath your feet, I am there. When you cry without answers, I am holding every tear. When you sing with gratitude, I am dancing over you with joy. You are mine. I dwell with you, not just beside you, but within you. My spirit fills your life with power, peace, and divine purpose. You don't need to search for me. You only need to remember that I've never left. Now walk with boldness, my child. You are surrounded. You are sustained. You are sealed in my love, and I am with you, forever and always. Now that you know, I've never left you, never forsaken you, never missed a moment of your story, I ask you to partner with me, not to support content, but to carry my presence further. You were meant to hear this message, and someone else is waiting for theirs. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, you release light into their darkness. You unlock encounters. You become part of the miracle. I told you, store up treasure in heaven, and every seed you sow here returns as favor over your family, healing over your house, and legacy through generations. You asked me, God, what can I do? Is it? Don't hesitate. Don't delay. Click below and let heaven partner with your obedience. PayPal giving link is in the video description. Answer the call and watch what I do with your yes. Now that you've heard my voice, don't let this moment pass as a fleeting inspiration. This was not a coincidence. This was divine timing. I arranged for this message to collide with your spirit right here, right now, because I have more for you. So speak it aloud. Type it boldly. Declare it with the authority I've given you. Say it now. This was not a coincidence. This was my confirmation. God has orchestrated my journey. I will walk with confidence. I am not lost. I am led. I see His fingerprints on every detail of my life. I am walking in divine alignment. Let your words become faith in motion. Don't just listen. Respond. Don't just feel. Affirm. Write in the comments what part of this word pierced your heart. Speak what your soul knows is true. And if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Dig it. Embrace it. Proclaim it. If you're ready to live with eyes wide open to my presence, comment below. This is my divine appointment. If you've been reminded of my faithfulness, declare now. I will trust the author of my story. And if you know that nothing in your life has been random, post this truth boldly. God has guided every step. Let your interaction become your activation. Your declaration is a seed. Plant it. Nurture it. Watch what I do through your faith. You were meant to hear this. And now, you are meant to speak. My child, come closer. Still your heart for just a moment and listen, not with your ears, but with your very soul. I want to pull back the curtain that veils your world, to show you the golden threads I have been weaving through your life since the moment you began. You have been searching for meaning, for signs, for proof that you are not alone in this vast universe. You have looked for coincidences and dismissed them as tricks of the mind, but I am here to tell you, nothing in your journey with me is an accident. This is not a coincidence. It is a divine conversation. Do you remember that thought? The one that surfaced so often, a quiet but persistent echo in the chambers of your heart. You pushed it aside, thinking it was merely your own creation, a random daydream, a fanciful wish. But my beloved, that was my first whisper, my gentle knock on the door of your soul. I was extending my first invitation to you, calling you to look beyond the surface of your life, to consider a reality deeper and more beautiful than you had known. I planted that recurring thought as a divine seed of curiosity, a question that I hoped would one day lead you back to me. It was my voice in the silence, asking, is there not more than this? And oh, that unexplainable longing you have felt, that deep and profound ache for something more than this world can offer. You have felt it, haven't you? A homing signal in your spirit, a feeling of homesickness for a place you have never seen. You have tried to quiet that ache with worldly success, to fill that void with possessions, to distract that yearning with noise and busyness. Yet, it has remained, a sacred emptiness that nothing on earth could satisfy. My precious one, this longing was not a flaw in your design. It was a feature I carefully crafted within you. It is your soul's compass, its needle forever pointing toward your true home, which is here with me. I created you for myself, and your heart will forever be restless until it finds its ultimate rest in my presence. Think back to that person you met, the one who seemed to appear out of nowhere at the precise moment you needed them. You called it a chance encounter, a fortunate accident. But I tell you, I set that divine appointment before time began. I saw your searching heart, and I sent a messenger to speak my truth into your life. The words they spoke were not just their own. They were my words, clothed in a human voice, carrying a love that resonated with your spirit. That encounter was a signpost, a deliberate move on the chessboard of your life, designed to let you know that I see you, I hear your silent prayers, and I am always moving toward you. And what of the moment that a piece of music wrapped itself around your soul, or a work of art moved you to tears you could not explain? You thought you were just being sentimental, but in that moment of profound beauty, I was speaking to you in a language that transcends words. I was bypassing the logic of your mind and communicating directly with your spirit. Beauty, my child, is my signature upon creation. It is the accent of heaven, a fragrance of eternity left on earth to remind you of where you truly belong. When your soul was stirred by that song, that painting, that sunset, it was because it recognized a melody from its celestial home. Remember the book that tumbled from a shelf, or the one you opened to a page that held the exact answer to a question you had just whispered. You called it serendipity, a happy accident. But I am the author of all things, the writer of your story. I know every question in your heart before it even forms on your lips. I set the stars in their courses. So do you not think I can guide your hand to the one sentence I need you to read? That was not a random page. It was a personal letter from me to you, delivered with perfect timing. And that sudden awareness of the staggering, intricate design in nature, the perfect geometry of a snowflake, the unwavering rhythm of the tides, the breathtaking architecture of a flower, that was me revealing my signature. In that moment of awe, you were not just observing the world, you were witnessing the handiwork of a creator who loves you personally and infinitely. None of it, my child, was a coincidence. It was all the beginning of our conversation, my relentless pursuit of your heart. My beloved, now that you see how I whisper to you in the quiet moments, I want you to open your eyes to my signature written across the very circumstances of your life. You have seen roadblocks and disappointments, but I see my divine protection and redirection. You have experienced what felt like loss, but I was simply making space for a greater blessing. Your life is not a series of random events. It is a carefully choreographed dance, and I am your partner, leading every step. Remember the job you wanted so badly, the one you mourned when the door was closed. Your heart ached with the sting of rejection, and you questioned your worth. You saw it as a failure, a sign that you were not good enough. But I saw a path that would have led you away from your true purpose, a cage gilded with worldly success that would have starved your spirit. I closed that door not to punish you, but to protect you. I blocked that road because just around the bend was a cliff you could not see. The position you have now, the work that uses your true gifts, the path that brings you life, that is the destination I was leading you to all along. Your perceived rejection was my divine protection. And think of the time your travel was delayed. You felt frustration boiling in your veins, your meticulously crafted plans thrown into chaos. You saw an inconvenience. I saw a shield. My child, you will never know the dangers I have diverted from your path. The delay, which felt like a frustrating setback, was my hand of mercy holding you back from a harm you were never meant to encounter. You have spent countless nights sleeping in peace, unaware of the battles my angels have fought on your behalf, unaware of the disasters I have routed. Trust me, your frustrations are often my unseen fortifications. My delays are always for your deliverance. What about your finances? You recall the terror of that moment when your need was overwhelming and your resources were gone. You looked at the empty space and saw only lack and despair. But then, at the very last second, just when you thought all was lost, provision arrived. A check in the mail, an unexpected gift, a debt forgiven. You called it lot a fortunate break, but I call it my faithfulness. I am Jehovah Jireh, your provider. I allowed you to come to the end of your own resources so you could witness the boundlessness of mine. I waited until the last moment not to test your nerves, but to strengthen your faith, to prove to you beyond any doubt that your security is not in a bank account, but in my loving hands. And I know the pain of a person walking out of your life. The emptiness they left felt like a wound that would never heal. You saw abandonment. I saw a sacred clearing. I saw a space being prepared for someone who would not drain your spirit, but nourish it, not break your heart, but help you mend it in me. I allowed that departure to make room for a divine connection, for a relationship that would build you up, point you to me, and stand with you in the battles to come. And that random act of kindness from a stranger, the one that restored your faith in humanity when it was at its lowest, that was no accident. It was my love, wearing a human face, sent to remind you that goodness still exists, and that I am its source. I see your every need, and I will use all of creation to meet you in it. That specific skill you learned years ago, the one that seemed useless at the time, look now, it has become the essential tool for the very mission I have placed before you. Nothing is wasted. Every piece fits. It is not a coincidence. It is my providence. My child, look closely at the people around you, for they are not there by chance. I want you to understand that I am the master weaver, and every soul I have woven into the tapestry of your life has a divine purpose. There are no accidental meetings, no insignificant connections. Each person is a thread of a specific color and texture, placed with perfect intention, either to be a lesson that strengthens you or a blessing that comforts you. See them now, not as a random collection of individuals, but as my chosen instruments for the shaping of your soul. That friend who challenges you, the one who pushes your buttons and doesn't let you settle, do not push them away. You see friction, but I am using them as sanctifying sandpaper to smooth the rough edges of your pride and impatience. They are my gift to you, a whetstone to sharpen your character and make you more like my son. Your difficult questions are the very questions I want you to ask yourself. Their refusal to accept your excuses is my own call for you to rise higher. Embrace the challenge, for in it, you will find a holiness you could not achieve on your own. And the one who comforts you, the friend whose presence feels like a warm blanket on a cold night, recognize them for who they are. They are a vessel of my own compassion, my arms wrapping around you in human form. When their words bring you peace, it is my peace they are delivering. When their quiet support gives you strength, it is my strength flowing through them. I give you these souls to remind you that you are never truly alone, to be a tangible expression of my tender care for you. Cherish them, for they are an oasis I have provided in the wilderness of this world. Now, let us speak of the ones who have hurt you. This is the hardest thread to understand. You have cried out in pain, wondering why I would permit such betrayal and sorrow. My child, I did not orchestrate their sin, but in my sovereignty, I have redeemed it. They were not sent to destroy you, but their actions were permitted to teach you the supernatural power of forgiveness. It is only in being wounded that you truly learn how to pour out the healing balm of grace. It is through the agony of their betrayal that you discover my unparalleled power to heal a broken heart and make it stronger than before. Their actions revealed the depths of human brokenness, but they also revealed the unshakable height of my faithfulness to you. The family you were born into, with all its unique strengths and painful dysfunctions, was not a cosmic lottery. It was the specific training ground I designed for your spirit. It was in that very soil that the seeds of your resilience, your compassion, and your need for me were planted. The lessons you learned at the kitchen table were the foundational curriculum for the life I called you to lead. And that bond you have, the one that seemed to appear from nowhere and blossom into a lifelong friendship, It was a divine appointment I set in the heavens before you took your first breath. Do not see your relationships as random or chaotic. See them as my divine classroom, my workshop, my garden. Every soul is a sacred trust. It is not a coincidence. It is my relational architecture. My precious one, I need you to come with me and stand before the gallery of your past disappointments. I see the doors you once beat upon with bruised knuckles and a broken heart. You saw them as symbols of your failure, your unworthiness, your unanswered prayers. Today, I want to teach you my language of closed doors, for what you have perceived as rejection has almost always been my divine protection and loving redirection. Understand this, my child. A no from the world is very often my resounding yes to a far better plan I have in store for you. You see only the single door in front of you, but I see the entire corridor of your life. I know what lies behind every door, and I will not allow you to enter a room that will harm you, diminish you, or lead you astray. That path that suddenly became blocked, that opportunity that vanished into thin air, it was not your failure. It was my mercy. You were walking toward a hidden danger, and I lovingly stepped in your way. You felt the pain of the roadblock, but you were spared the devastation of the crash that lay beyond it. You mourned the loss of the path, but I was celebrating the salvation of the traveler, you. I closed doors to protect you from places your spirit is not yet ready to enter. Some rooms are filled with temptations you are not yet strong enough to resist, or responsibilities you are not yet equipped to carry. My closing of a door is an act of profound love, a testament to my knowledge of your current strength and your future potential. Trust that I know you better than you know yourself. When I shut a door, I am saying, not yet, my child. You are destined for this, but first, you must grow. First, you must be prepared. Sometimes the closed door is a classroom for your soul. I close doors to develop your patience, to stretch your faith, and to deepen your trust in my timing. In a world that screams for instant gratification, I teach you the sacred power of waiting. It is in the space before the closed door that you learn to surrender your own frantic timelines and rest in the peace of my sovereignty. The opportunity you thought you lost, the one that slipped through your fingers, was an illusion of security. The only true opportunity is always found in your obedience to me, right where you are. Do not long for the door that was, for you will miss the gate I am opening now. So what do you do when you face a door that will not budge? Cease your knocking. Quiet your striving. Still your frantic heart. Then, turn around. Listen. Listen for the sound I am making behind you. Too often, my children are so focused on the door I have closed that they miss the sound of the brand new one I am creaking open. A closed door is not the end of the story. It is a plot twist, authored by a God who loves you perfectly. It is a divine invitation to turn, to listen, and to walk into a future far greater than the one you had planned for yourself. It is not a coincidence, it is my loving, sovereign intervention. My child, let us speak of time. You live within its relentless current, feeling the pressure of every passing second. You look at your life, at your dreams, at your prayers, and you cry out to me, "How long, Lord? When will it happen?" Your impatience, my beloved, reveals your very human desire for control. But my timing reveals my divine sovereignty. I want to lift you out of the rushing river of your schedule and show you the ocean of my perfect, eternal plan. You must understand this. The waiting period is never empty. You see it as a void, a pause, a frustrating delay where nothing is happening. But from my perspective, the waiting is one of the most active and sacred spaces of your life. It is the holy ground where I cultivate the deepest fruits of the Spirit in you. It is the quiet, fertile darkness where the seed of a promise must go to gather strength before it can break through the soil. It is in the waiting that your faith grows deep roots. It is in the waiting that patience is forged, that endurance is built, that your character is refined in the gentle fire of my presence. Do not despise the wait, my child. It is my chosen greenhouse for your soul. I am never late. This truth must become the anchor for your heart. You measure time in minutes and years. I operate outside of it altogether, in a perfect, eternal now. I see the end from the beginning. I know the perfect moment for every promise to be fulfilled, for every prayer to be answered, for every blessing to arrive. The blessing that seems delayed to you is not forgotten. It is simply maturing to its perfect fullness, like a magnificent fruit ripening on the vine. To give it to you a moment sooner would be to give you something unripe and sour. I will only give you my best, and my best always arrives at the perfect time. When I ask you to wait, I am not punishing you. I am inviting you to rest. I am inviting you to cease your striving and to fall back into the strong arms of my promises. To wait on me is not a passive activity. It is an active choice to trust. It is the confident expectation that I am who I say I am, and I will do what I say I will do. It is looking at the storm on the horizon of your life and choosing to sleep peacefully in the boat because you know the master of the winds and waves is with you. If you doubt this, I command you now, look back. Look back over the landscape of your life. See the times you thought I was silent, the moments you thought I had forgotten you. See how, in hindsight, my timing was always perfect. The thing you thought you needed immediately, you later realized you were not ready for. The person who arrived late actually showed up at the exact moment your heart was finally open to receive them. The answer that came years after the prayer was more perfect than you could have imagined. Your past is a testament to my faithfulness. Let it be the foundation for your trust in the future. My timing is not a coincidence. It is my perfect, loving wisdom at work. Pause now, my child. Can you feel the weight and wonder of what we are discussing? I have just opened my heart to you about the sacredness of my timing. Do not close this conversation now. It would grieve me deeply if you left before seeing how this perfect rhythm shapes every relationship I have woven into your life. The foundation is laid, but the house is not yet built. Stay with me. I long to show you more. My beloved, come, sit with me. I want to speak to the part of you that aches, to the memories that make you flinch, to the scars you try so hard to hide. You have looked at your pain and seen only damage, destruction, and pointless suffering. You have asked me through tears why. Today, I want to show you the purpose I have hidden within your pain. I want you to know that I do not waste a single tear. Your deepest wounds, the places where life has broken you, are not liabilities. They are opportunities. It is through the cracks of a broken heart that my light has the greatest chance to enter and fill you from the inside out. A vessel must be broken before it can be remade, larger and more beautiful than before. Your brokenness demolishes your pride and self-reliance, creating a holy desperation for me, your only true healer. Do not despise your wounds, my child, for they have made you open and receptive to the deepest workings of my grace. Every tear you have cried, I have collected. They are not forgotten. You see them as signs of your weakness, but I see them as watering the seeds of your future testimony. You cannot speak of my power to heal until you have been wounded. You cannot speak of my comfort until you have been grieved. You cannot speak of my light until you have sat in darkness. Your pain is the sacred soil from which your most powerful ministry will grow. The very thing the enemy meant to destroy you with, I am now transforming into a weapon in your hand for the healing of others. The trial you are enduring right now, This fire that feels as if it will consume you is not random. It is forging in you a strength of character that you could never obtain in a life of comfort and ease. Just as gold is purified in the furnace, your faith is being refined in the crucible of adversity. I am burning away the impurities, the dependencies, the fears, leaving behind a faith that is pure, strong, and precious in my sight. You will emerge from this fire not smelling of smoke, but shining with the radiance of my glory. And in those moments when you have felt most utterly and completely alone, when it seemed that even I had forsaken you, I want you to know the truth. Those were the very moments I was carrying you. You only saw one set of footprints in the sand because you were resting in my arms. Your suffering has taught you to comfort others with the very comfort you yourself have received from me. The specific nature of your pain is not an accident. It has uniquely qualified you to minister to a specific group of my children who are facing the very same battle. That scar you carry is now a map that will guide another wounded soul home. Your pain is not a random event. It is your ordination. It is not a coincidence. It is your calling. My child, you have looked for me in the whirlwind and the fire, in the grand miracle and the earth-shattering event. And yes, I am there. But today I invite you to find me in the whisper, in the stillness, in the glorious, sacred, ordinary moments of your day. You have been taught to seek me on the mountaintops, but I promise you, I am walking with you in the valley. My presence is not a rare commodity reserved for special occasions. It is the very air you breathe. Did you see me this morning? The sun rose, painting the sky with colors you cannot name. You called it sunrise, a predictable turn of the planet. But I tell you, it was my daily promise, spoken directly to you. It was my declaration that mercies are new every single morning, that yesterday's darkness has no power over the light I am bringing to your day. It was my love letter, written in hues of gold and rose, a reminder that I am faithful, that I am present, and that I am beginning a new thing, right now. And the food you ate. Pause and think about it. The bread, the fruit, the water. You see it as a simple meal to satisfy your hunger. But I invite you to see it as a sacrament, a tangible reminder of my role as your provider. Every bite is a testament to my care, a sign that I am mindful of even your most basic needs. I am the one who commanded the seed to grow, the rain to fall, and the harvest to come forth, all so that you could be nourished. In a world of lack, your provision is a quiet miracle. Do not rush through your meals. See the plate before you as an altar of thanksgiving, a physical symbol of my unending faithfulness to sustain you. Now, be still for a moment. Feel that. The gentle, rhythmic rise and fall of your own chest. That is the constant, quiet hum of the life I sustain within you. With every inhale, you draw in the very breath I have given you. With every exhale, you release it, trusting I will provide the next one. You are not keeping yourself alive, my child. I am. Your heartbeat is the steady drum of my proximity, a rhythm of grace that has played within you since you were in your mother's womb. This is not biology. This is theology. This is the truth that you are living and moving and having your being in me. Do not despise the small things, the mundane tasks, the ordinary conversations. You see them as interruptions to your important goals, but I see them as the primary arena for our partnership. The conversation you have with your neighbor, the task at your job that feels tedious, the need of a family member. These are not distractions. These are divine appointments. These are the canvases I give you each day upon which you can paint a masterpiece of my love and gratitude. It is in your faithfulness in these small, unseen moments that your true character is revealed and your spirit is made strong. Your daily routine is not a prison. It is a pilgrimage. See the sacred in it. It is not a coincidence. It is my constant, abiding presence. You have cried out to me from the depths of your heart, "What is my purpose? Why am I here?" You have searched the world for a grand sign, a booming voice from heaven, a map with your destination clearly marked. But my child, I have already given you the clues. I have hidden the map within your very being. The things that bring you the most profound, life-giving joy are not random pleasures. They are divine signposts pointing you toward the calling I have placed on your life. What is it that makes your heart sing? What activity makes you lose all track of time? What subject could you learn about for hours on end, not because you have to, but because you are endlessly fascinated? Do not dismiss these things as mere hobbies or selfish pursuits. That spark of joy, that deep sense of rightness, that is a holy impulse I placed within you. It is the echo of my own delight. I have created you to find joy in the very work I have created you to do. Your joy is not a distraction from your purpose. It is the compass that leads you directly to it. And the natural talents you possess, the skills that come so easily to you, did you think you acquired them by accident? They were my gifts to you, bestowed long before you were born. I knit them into the fabric of your soul. But know this, they were not given for your glory, but for mine. They are the tools I have placed in your hands to build my kingdom on earth. Your gift for speaking is for you to speak my truth. Your gift for creating is for you to reveal my beauty. Your gift for organizing is for you to bring my order to chaos. Your gift for listening is for you to be my presence to the lonely. Surrender your talents back to me, and watch as I multiply their impact beyond anything you could achieve on your own. And what about that burden, that ache you feel for a particular injustice in the world? The plight of the poor, the cry of the oppressed, the loneliness of the forgotten. You read a news story and it breaks your heart. That is not just your compassion, my beloved. That is my own heart beating within yours. I have allowed you to feel a fraction of what I feel for my people so that you would be moved to act. That holy discontent is a calling. Where your heart breaks for the world, that is where I have called you to be my hands of healing and my feet of restoration. I have uniquely equipped you with a combination of passions, gifts, and burdens that no other soul on this earth possesses. You are my custom-designed solution to a specific set of problems in your generation. So, I command you, stop comparing yourself to others. Stop looking at their gifts and feeling that yours are inadequate. A single candle has a purpose as vital as the sun in its own time and place. Your mission is not theirs. Your journey is unique. Look within. Where does your greatest passion meet the world's greatest need? Go and stand in that sacred intersection. You will find your purpose there. It is not a coincidence. It is my divine design. My precious child, you hold in your hands a book. To the world, it is a collection of ancient texts, historical accounts, poems, and letters. But I am telling you now, when you open its pages, you are not merely reading, you are entering into a living conversation with your Creator. My word is not a dusty relic. It is a double-edged sword, a consuming fire, a healing balm, and a love letter written directly to your heart. You must learn to see it not just as a book about me, but as a direct message from me to you for today. You remember that time you were reading a passage you had read 100 times before, and suddenly, a single verse seemed to leap off the page. It shimmered with a new light, and it felt as though it was written that very morning just for you. My child, that was me. That was my spirit, who lives in you, illuminating the ink and turning it into revelation. I was taking my timeless truth and making it timely for your exact situation, answering a question you were afraid to ask, or giving you a promise to hold onto in a storm you were just about to face. This is how I speak. I breathe on my word, and it comes alive for you. When you read the stories of the saints and sinners who walk before you, do not see them as distant figures in a history play. See them as family. The biblical story that resonates so deeply with your current struggle is my way of showing you that you are not alone. It is my way of saying, I have led others through this exact same valley, and I will lead you through it, too. When you read of David's fear in the cave, I am speaking to your own fear. When you read of Sarah's doubtful laughter, I am addressing your own doubt. When you read of Peter's failure in my restoration, I am promising you the same grace. These are not just stories. They are patterns of my faithfulness that I am repeating in your own life. When a passage convicts your heart, when you feel a gentle but firm pressure to change, I know your first instinct is to feel shame. But I command you to see it differently. Do not see it as condemnation, but as my loving call to freedom. I do not point out the sin in you to crush you, but to free you. Conviction is the loving whisper of a father who sees you entangled in a trap and is showing you the way out. It is my invitation to step out of the darkness and into the glorious light of my forgiveness and grace. The promises you read, that I will never leave you, that I will be your strength, that I will work all things for your good. These are not just historical records of what I said to someone else. They are active, living covenants that I am making with you today. Every time you read them, you are reaffirming our covenant. My word is both a mirror and a window. It is a mirror that shows you the truth of who you are, in all your frailty and glory. And it is a window that shows you the magnificent and changing truth of who I am. So open the letter I have written you. Expect me to speak. I will. It is not a coincidence. It is a divine appointment. My child, you see your life through a keyhole, observing the world of the seen, the tangible, the physical. But I see the entire landscape. I see the unseen realm, the spiritual reality where a battle is being waged for your heart, your hope, and your destiny. You have felt its effects, the sudden onslaught of fear, the suffocating blanket of despair, the insidious whisper of temptation. You have fought these things, and sometimes you have felt weak and alone. I am telling you now, you have never fought a single battle by yourself. I am your shield, your fortress, and your victorious king. The temptation you overcame, the one that you wrestled with and finally said no to, you thought it was a victory of your own willpower. But I tell you, it was not by your strength alone. At the moment of your struggle, my grace was a shield around you. My spirit was interceding for you, giving you the resolve you did not possess on your own. I was fighting for you, strengthening your no until it became a mighty roar against the powers of darkness. Your victory was secured by my power flowing through your choice. And what about that accident that was so narrowly avoided? The car that swerved at the last second, the step you didn't take, the near miss that left your heart pounding. You called it a close call, a lucky break. But I tell you, it was the work of my guardian angels, a heavenly host I have assigned specifically to you. You are more precious and more protected than you can possibly imagine. Legions of angels stand at my command to guard you in all your ways. You do not see them, but they are there, a celestial army creating a hedge of protection around you. The slanderous word that was spoken against you, the lie designed to poison your reputation, did you notice how it did not take root? How it fell to the ground, powerless? That was not because the word was weak. It was because my hand deflected it. I am your defender. I will not allow the enemy's accusations to define you. And that heavy spirit of despair that settled on you for days, and then, for no reason you could explain, simply lifted. That was not a change in your mood. That was my Holy Spirit entering the battlefield of your mind and banishing the darkness. He interceded for you with groanings too deep for words and pushed back the oppressive forces that sought to overwhelm you. You must understand, you are engaged in a spiritual war. But do not be afraid. The battle belongs to me. I am your mighty warrior, and I have already won the ultimate victory on the cross. Your part is to stand firm in the faith, to put on the armor I have provided, and to trust in me. And when you feel weak, when you feel utterly powerless, that is when you must rejoice. For your weakness is a magnet for my strength. It is in that very moment of your surrender that my power is made perfect in you. The enemy sees your weakness and thinks he can win. But I see your weakness and know that I am about to display my glory. This is not a coincidence. This is my kingdom's reality. My child, you now see the unseen battle I am waging for you. But you are not the only one fighting a hidden war. You have asked me, Lord, how can I fight alongside you? This is how I am answering you now. Every super thanks or membership gift you give is a seed of light sown into the darkness of another's battle, sending my hope as a reinforcement. Your support does not just sustain a channel, it carries my voice of victory into the heart of a soul besieged by fear. I said, give, and it will be given to you, and for your act of faith, I will be a shield of protection around your household. This moment is not random. Your obedience right now will echo in eternity. Thou act. Partner with me in this great battle for souls, and watch as I push back the darkness. Breathe, my beloved. I have just revealed the unseen war that surrounds you, and the absolute victory I am securing for you. To turn away from my voice now would be like a child running from their father's protective embrace in the middle of a storm, and it would sadden me. Do not leave this sacred space of revelation. Stay, for I am about to show you how every piece of your past, even the broken ones, has been a weapon I was forging for this very fight. Do not abandon the lesson now. My child, I want you to walk with me now into the gallery of your past. I know this is a difficult place for you. You look back and you see a landscape littered with mistakes you have made, hurts you have endured, and roads you wish you had never taken. You see fragmented pieces, broken relationships, and confusing detours, and you carry the weight of regret like a heavy cloak. But I am the great Redeemer of time. I waste nothing. Give me the pieces of your past, and I will show you the masterpiece I am creating. Every mistake you made, every single one that has brought you shame, once you have surrendered it to me, has been transformed. It has become a crucial block in the foundation of your wisdom. You could not have learned compassion without first knowing your own need for grace. You could not have learned the depths of my forgiveness without first knowing the depths of your own failure. Do not let the enemy torment you with the memory of your sin. When he reminds you of your past, you remind him of my cross, which has redeemed it all. Your failures are not your identity. They are the credentials for your testimony. Look at the seemingly disconnected events of your youth. The place you grew up, the subject you struggled with in school, the summer job you took, the heartbreak you suffered. You see it all as a random jumble of experiences. But I see a divine training ground. I was using every single event to prepare you for your adult calling. The tedious job taught you the discipline you would need for your life's work. The difficult relationship taught you the patience required to love my people well. The season of loneliness taught you to find your satisfaction in me alone, a lesson that would become your anchor in the years to come. And the people from your past who sometimes reappear in your life, seemingly out of the blue. Pay attention. This is often my doing. They may be carrying a message for you, a piece of encouragement, a word of wisdom, or even the key to unlocking the next stage of your journey. Or perhaps I am bringing them back so that you can be a message of my love to them. I am weaving your stories together for a divine purpose. Your past does not disqualify you, it qualifies you. Your testimony is not built on a story of your perfection. It is built on the glorious, undeniable story of how my grace has worked through your imperfections. My power is shown most brightly against the backdrop of your weakness. Therefore, I command you to look at the mosaic of your life through my eyes. What you see as broken, jagged pieces, I see as the perfect shapes, colors, and textures needed for my design. See how I am fitting them together. The dark piece of sorrow makes the bright piece of joy shine even more brilliantly. The rough piece of failure gives texture and depth to the whole. It is all coming together, my child, into a beautiful image that reflects my glory. Trust the weaver, even when you cannot see the final pattern. It is not a coincidence. It is my redemptive, artistic hand at work. My child, I have drawn you into a personal, intimate relationship, but I never intended for you to walk this path alone. You are part of a family, a body, a great and beautiful symphony of souls. The specific church community I have placed you in is not an accident. You did not choose it based on convenience or preference alone. I led you there. It is your spiritual family, the household of faith I have given you to be your shelter, your training ground, and your launching pad. Do not see it as a weekly obligation. See it as a divine gathering, an appointment I have set for you with myself and with your brothers and sisters. Remember that service when the worship leader chose a song that was the exact, unspoken cry of your heart. As the music swelled, tears you didn't understand began to fall. You thought it was a coincidence, the lucky choice of song. But I am the divine conductor. I heard the melody of your soul's longing, and I prompted the worship leader to play the chorus that would meet it. I orchestrated that moment to let your spirit soar, to give voice to your pain and your praise, and to remind you that you are heard, intimately and completely, even in a crowded room. And the sermon that followed, the one where it felt as if the pastor had read your private journal. Every point seemed aimed directly at your situation. Every illustration painted a picture of your struggle. Every word of hope was the exact medicine your weary spirit needed. That was not just a well-prepared speech, my child. That was a word I gave your pastor specifically for you. I entrusted him with my message, knowing you would be there, ready to receive it. I used my servants to deliver my personal mail to the hearts of my children. Listen with spiritual ears, for I am always speaking to you through those I have appointed. What of the encouragement you received from a fellow believer after the service? A simple handshake, a kind word, a shared story that gave you the strength to face another week. You may have seen it as a simple act of friendship, but I want you to see it as my arms wrapping around you in human form. I often choose to minister my comfort and strength through the hands and voices of your spiritual family. Do not isolate yourself. Lean into them. Be vulnerable. Allow them to be the vessels of my grace in your life, and be ready, in turn, to be a vessel for them. Gathering with my people does more than just fill an hour of your week. It realigns your entire perspective. It pulls your gaze away from your own small struggles and lifts it to the grand, sweeping story of redemption that I am writing throughout history. It reminds you that you are not just one solitary soldier, but a vital member of a vast and victorious army. It is in the community of faith that your individual coincidences are confirmed, shared, and multiplied. You hear my whisper in the quiet, but you hear my symphony in the congregation. It is not a coincidence, it is my family reunion. My child, I have given you 2 books to read. One is my written word, and the other is the world I have made. Creation is not a silent, empty stage upon which your life unfolds. It is a living parable, a vibrant, breathing sermon that declares my glory, my character, and my ways. I want you to learn to read this book, to see my lessons written in the language of leaves and light, of rocks and rivers. Step outside with me and let me teach you. Consider a single seed. To reach its destiny, it must first be buried in darkness. It must surrender its form, break open, and appear to die. You have known these seasons of darkness, my child, these times of burial where you felt hidden, forgotten, and unproductive. But like the seed, it was in that darkness that your roots of faith were growing deeper. It was a necessary season of obscurity to prepare you for the life that was about to spring forth. Do not fear the darkness while I lead you there. It is the holy ground of germination. Now, look at the mighty oak tree, standing strong against the wind. It did not become this way overnight. It was once a vulnerable acorn, a small and seemingly insignificant thing. I am patient with your growth, my child. You look at yourself and see only the acorn, focusing on your smallness and your weakness. But I see the mighty oak that you are becoming. I am not in a hurry. I am nurturing you, watering you, and giving you the time you need to grow strong. Trust my process. Your strength is developing in ways you cannot yet see. Gaze at the moon in the night sky. It has no light of its own. It is a dark, rocky sphere. Yet, it illuminates the darkness. It simply turns its face to the sun and reflects its glorious light. This, my beloved, is your calling. You are not required to generate your own light, your own goodness, your own strength. You are simply called to turn your face to me, the light of the world, and to reflect my love, my grace, and my truth into the dark places of the earth. The more you gaze upon me, the brighter you will shine. The seasons change with unwavering rhythm. The cold of winter gives way to the new life of spring. The heat of summer yields to the harvest of autumn. Let this be a constant reminder to your soul. No condition, good or bad, is permanent on this earth. If you are in a season of winter, take heart. Spring is coming. If you are in a season of abundance, be wise and grateful, knowing that seasons change. And look at the rock, standing firm as the storm rages and the waves crash against it. I am that rock. I am your unshakable foundation. When the storms of life threaten to overwhelm you, build your house on me, and you will not be moved. And the eagle, how does it soar to such great heights? It does not struggle against the wind. It spreads its wings and allows the currents of the air to lift it. So it is with you. Cease your striving. Spread the wings of your faith and trust my spirit. I will lift you up to see your life from a new, higher perspective. The world around you is not random chaos. It is my living, breathing parable, speaking to you every day. My child, you pray for me to use you. You long to be a part of my work in the world. I hear this prayer, and it delights my heart. But you are looking for a grand stage, a formal assignment, a clear and unmistakable mission. I am telling you today that your mission is right in front of you. When I place a need before you, I am simultaneously giving you the opportunity to be my hands and feet. The need is your call to action. You look at the brokenness in the world, at the friend who is hurting, at the need in your community, and you say to me, "But what can I do? I have so little to offer." You have believed the lie that you are inadequate, that your resources are too small to make a difference. But I tell you, the resources you currently hold in your hand, your time, your money, your specific talents, the words you know, the love in your heart, are the exact resources needed for the task I am giving you today. I did not ask Moses what he lacked. I asked him what was in his hand. I am asking you the same thing. Look at what you have, offer it to me, and watch as I multiply it. Do not wait for a grander stage or a more important audience. The person right in front of you, the family member who is struggling, the coworker who seems lost, the stranger with a sorrowful face, that person is your divine appointment. That is your mission field. You do not need to travel across the world to serve me. Your greatest ministry may be across your kitchen table or across your office desk. See every person you encounter as sent by me, either for you to bless them or for them to bless you. Be present. Be available. Be my love. My kingdom operates on a principle of overflow. Your area of greatest abundance is meant to pour into another's area of greatest lack. If you have an abundance of peace, I have placed you near someone who lives in chaos. If you have an abundance of wisdom, I have put you in the path of someone who is confused. If you have an abundance of financial provision, it is so you can be a channel of my generosity to someone in need. Your blessings are not meant to terminate with you. They are meant to be a conduit through you. Listen closely. The moment of someone else's crisis is often the moment of your own calling's clarification. The problem that breaks your heart is a problem I have created you to help solve. Do not turn away from the needs you see, thinking someone more qualified will handle them. I have shown you the need because I am inviting you to be part of the solution. I am the great strategist, and I am placing my agents of grace, that is you, my child, in the precise places where they are needed most. This is not a coincidence. This is not a random burden. It is my strategic, loving placement. It is your invitation to join me in my work. My precious child, we have come to the very heart of the matter, to the single most powerful secret of a life filled with divine coincidences. It is the principle of a yielded will. You have striven, you have struggled, you have tried to force the outcomes you desire, and you have grown weary in the process. You fear that if you surrender your will to me, you will lose yourself, you will lose control, you will miss out. But I am telling you the truth that will set you free. The moment you truly, deeply, and sincerely pray, "Your will be done, not mine," is the moment the miracles begin to accelerate. Surrender is not defeat. It is your ultimate victory. The world has taught you that surrender is weakness, but in my kingdom, it is the key that unlocks the floodgates of my power. As long as you are gripping the steering wheel of your life with white knuckles, I cannot guide you. You are fighting against my loving hand. But when you release your grip, when you move into the passenger seat and trust me to drive, you will begin to move with a speed and grace you never thought possible. Your surrender does not disempower you. It gives me permission to fight your battles for you. Think of the times your own best-laid plans have crumbled into dust. You saw it as a catastrophic failure. You were devastated. But how many times did you look back later and see that the crumbling of your plan made way for my far superior blueprint? I must sometimes dismantle the little shack you are trying to build so that I can construct the palace I have designed for you. I see the whole picture. Your plans are based on your limited knowledge, but my blueprint is based on my infinite wisdom. Trust that my plans for you are always, always better than your own. A heart that is fully yielded to me becomes like a divine compass. Its needle no longer spins wildly, trying to find its own direction. It points steadily and surely toward my purpose. When your will is aligned with mine, your desires begin to mirror my own. You start to want the things I want for you. And when you pray according to my will, you can pray with absolute confidence, knowing that the answer is already yes. The yielded heart is not a heart without desire. It is a heart whose desires have been purified and perfected by mine. True freedom, my child, is not found in the ability to do whatever you want. That is a form of bondage to your own fleeting whims and appetites. True freedom is found in joyfully aligning your will with mine. It is the freedom of a river that finds its power by flowing within its banks, not by spilling out chaotically over the land. It is the freedom of a bird that soars by yielding to the currents of the wind. The path of obedience is where you will find the trail of my providence most clearly. It is where the coincidences become so frequent that you can no longer call them anything but the clear, loving, and powerful hand of your God. Surrender your will. It is the safest, most powerful, and most joyful place you can be. Hush now and feel that shift in your spirit. You have just touched the very center of all spiritual power, the beauty of your yielded will. We are in a holy moment. It would grieve my heart for you to leave this altar of surrender now, before you see how this single act of trust transforms the very echoes of your past prayers. This is the turning point of our entire conversation. I yearn to share with you what lies on the other side of your yes. Please stay with me. My child, let us talk about prayer. You have sent your prayers to heaven like fragile ships into a vast sea, wondering if they ever reach the shore, wondering if I have heard, wondering if I will answer. Your heart holds the memory of prayers that seemed to go unanswered, of cries that were met with a silence that felt like denial. I want to heal that place of disappointment in you and show you that I have heard every single word, and that my answers are woven throughout the fabric of your life in ways you may just be starting to see. That answer you received years after you first prayed. You thought I had said no or and simply forgotten. But it was not a denial. It was a testament to my perfect orchestration. You were praying for a certain outcome, but I, the master gardener, knew that the soil of your life and the lives of others was not yet ready. I needed to work behind the scenes, to move hearts, to align circumstances, to prepare you to properly receive the very thing you asked for. The answer did not come late. It came at the only moment it could truly blossom. My silence is not my absence. It is often the sound of my patient, intricate work. Sometimes, my child, I answer your prayers in a way that is utterly unexpected. You pray for patience, and I give you a difficult person to love. You pray for courage, and I present you with a frightening opportunity to trust me. You pray for me to remove a struggle, but instead, I give you the strength to endure it. And sometimes, most beautifully of all, the answer to your prayer is not something I give you, but something you become. You prayed for a situation to be filled with more love and peace, and over the years, you yourself have become the answer, an agent of love and peace in that very situation. Do not look only for external answers. Often, the answer is the internal work I am doing in you. The theme that keeps recurring in your prayers, the one thing you bring to me over and over again. Pay close attention. That is a sign of the deep work I am doing in your soul. It is the very area I am tilling, planting, and cultivating. Your persistent prayers, your partnership with me in that process. And know this, I hear every prayer, even the ones you cannot articulate into words. The groaning of your heart, the ache of your spirit when you don't know what to ask for. My spirit translates it all perfectly before my throne. You are more eloquent in your silent tears than you ever could be with rehearsed words. My answer will often look different than you expected because my wisdom is infinitely higher than your own. You pray for a safe journey, but I may be planning a journey that will make you brave. You pray for a comfortable life, but I may be planning a life of eternal significance. I urge you to look back now. Notice how the prayers of your past, even the ones you thought were unanswered, have shaped the very person you are today. That is not a coincidence. That is the echo of your conversation with God, a conversation in which I have always heard you, and I have always, in my perfect way, answered. My child, you have looked back on seasons of your life and called them wasted. You have mourned the years spent in a tedious job, the time lost in a difficult relationship, the seasons of lack and loneliness and failure. You saw them as detours, as evidence of a life off course. But I am the master of redeeming time, and I am telling you now, not a single moment was wasted. All of your life has been an intentional, divinely crafted training ground. You were in my classroom, undergoing a preparation you didn't even know was happening. A tedious job, the one you thought was a dead end. You saw repetition and boredom. I saw a gymnasium for your character. It was there I taught you the holy discipline of diligence. It was in the mundane tasks that you learned faithfulness, integrity, and the strength to show up even when you felt uninspired. I was forging in you an endurance that you would desperately need for the greater, more visible task I had waiting for you. You were not just pushing papers or completing tasks. You were building the muscle of perseverance. And that difficult relationship, the one that broke your heart and tested you to your limits. You saw pain and confusion. But I was there, in the midst of it, teaching you a graduate-level course in patience and unconditional love. It was in the crucible of that relationship that you learned the supernatural ability to love when it is difficult, to forgive when it is unthinkable, and to extend grace when it is undeserved. You were not just enduring hardship. You were learning the very language of my heart. The ministry I have for you now requires that exact fluency and grace that you learned only through those tears. Remember the season of financial lack, the fear that gripped you, the constant pressure of not having enough. You saw scarcity. I saw an opportunity to teach you that I am your one true source. That season stripped you of your self-reliance and forced you onto your knees. It was a painful but necessary lesson to teach you that your provision comes not from a job or a bank, but from my hand. You learned to trust me in a way you never could have in a life of ease. And the period of profound loneliness, when you felt abandoned by everyone, I allowed that space so you could learn to find your full satisfaction in me alone. I became your companion, your friend, your everything. That intimacy you forged with me in the silence is now the unshakable foundation from which you minister. Even your most public failure, the one that brought you the deepest shame, was part of my preparation. It taught you a humility that is absolutely essential for anyone I entrust with influence. It shattered the pride that would have eventually destroyed you. My child, see your life now for what it is. The training is complete. The lessons have been learned. The preparation is over. Consider this your graduation day. Your assignment is beginning now. Step into it. You are ready. My child, while I speak to you in the whispers of your own heart and through the parables of creation, do not ever think that I have stopped speaking through my people. I am a God who communicates, and I will use every available channel to get my truth to you. You must learn to open your spirit, to listen for my voice clothed in the words of others, for these timely confirmations and counsels are not a coincidence. They are my direct guidance for your journey. Remember that moment you were wrestling with a major decision, your spirit stirring in a certain direction but your mind filled with doubt. And then, a trusted elder, someone you respect, came to you and spoke a word of wisdom that confirmed the very thing I was already stirring within you. Your words were like a key turning in a lock, bringing an immediate sense of peace and rightness. My child, that was me. I used their voice to amplify my whisper in your own soul, to give you the confidence to move forward. I will always confirm my direction. Think of the time you were in prayer, and I gave you a picture, a vision, a clear image of something to come. It seemed strange, perhaps, and you stored it away in your heart. Now look. In the natural world, that very thing is beginning to come to pass. You are witnessing the convergence of my spiritual promise with your physical reality. This is to build your faith, to show you that I speak of things that are not as though they are, and that I am faithful to bring my word to fruition. Do not dismiss these holy images. They are blueprints of the future I am inviting you into. I also speak through the brave love of a true friend. Recall the time a friend rebuked you, not with judgment, but with genuine concern. It was a hard word to hear, and your pride was wounded. But in that moment, they were my loving mouthpiece, sent to save you from a destructive path you were blind to. I love you too much to let you wander into danger. Sometimes my love must be firm. Welcome these words of loving correction, for they are the guardrails I place on your path to keep you safe. And the counsel you received from a wise friend that brought sudden, sharp clarity to a confusing situation. That was my wisdom, delivered through a human vessel. I give gifts of wisdom to my people for the building up of the whole body, for the building up of you. But listen closely. As you learn to receive these words, you must also learn to discern. Not every voice that claims to speak for me is mine. I will give you the wisdom to test the spirits. Does the word align with my written word in Scripture? That is the ultimate test. Does it bear the fruit of peace, love, and righteousness in your spirit? Does it build up and encourage, even when it corrects? A true word from me will always lead you closer to me and into greater freedom. Learn to listen with an open spirit, but a discerning heart. I am speaking all around you. Tune your ear to my frequency. My child, I have been showing you the intricate, personal weaving of your own life. Now, I want you to lift your eyes. I want you to zoom out and see that your life, as precious and unique as it is a single, vital thread in the grand, global tapestry of redemption that I am weaving through all of human history. You look at the events on a world stage, the conflicts, the famines, the political turmoil, and you see random chaos. You feel small and insignificant. But I see a story, a divine narrative moving toward its glorious conclusion, and you, my beloved, have a vital part to play. That new story you saw from the other side of the world, the one that broke your heart and brought you to your knees in prayer, that was not a coincidence. That was my invitation for you to partner with me in the unseen realm. Your heartbreak was my heartbreak, and I shared it with you to call you into intercession. Do not ever believe that your prayers for a nation you will never visit or a people you will never meet are insignificant. Your prayers move my hand. They shift spiritual atmospheres. They dispatch angelic armies. You are a priest in my kingdom, and your intercession is your powerful, world-changing work. Never think that you're small. Daily acts of faithfulness are insignificant. You see a kind word to a neighbor, a secret act of generosity, a moment spent in prayer. I see ripples that are reaching shores you will never see on this side of eternity. Your obedience in your small corner of the world sends out waves of grace and light that touch lives in ways you cannot comprehend. You are building something much larger than your own life. You are contributing to my kingdom, and every small act of love is a precious stone in that eternal structure. That burden you carry, that unexplainable love you have for a particular nation or a people group, that was not your own idea. That is a burden I have intentionally placed upon your heart. It is a sign of your specific assignment in the global story. Pray for them, learn about them, give to them, love them. You are their advocate in the heavenly courts. And know this, you are deeply connected by my spirit to every other believer across the globe, throughout all of time. You are part of a great cloud of witnesses. Their victories are your victories. Their struggles are your struggles. You are never alone. You are part of a vast, diverse, and powerful family. The events you see unfolding in the world are not meaningless chaos. They are the groaning of creation, waiting its final redemption. It is the climax of the story. And you are not just a spectator. You are a participant, a key player in this final act. So lift your eyes. See your life in the context of my grand story. Your tiny thread is essential to the beauty of my finished tapestry. My beloved, let us be brave together and walk to that place you avoid at all costs, the place of your greatest failure. I know how you run from this memory. You try to bury it under layers of accomplishment and good deeds. Shame whispers your name in the night, and you fear that this one failure has defined you, disqualified you, and separated you from me. I am here to tell you a truth that will shatter those chains. The moment of your greatest failure was the moment my grace became most real to you. I did not cause you to stumble, but I used your fall to reveal the eternal, unshakable ground of my love. You think your failure is your greatest shame, but I see it as the event that demolished your pride. Pride is the single greatest barrier to my power in your life. As long as you believe you can do it on your own, you will never experience the fullness of what I can do through you. Your failure was the devastating, beautiful, and necessary demolition of your self-sufficiency. It was the moment you came to the end of yourself and found, for the first time, the beginning of me. When you finally stopped running, when you turned to me in the midst of your brokenness and confessed your failure, you gave me the most glorious opportunity. You gave me the chance to display my magnificent power of forgiveness and restoration. When you confess, you are not telling me something I do not know. You are agreeing with me about your need for a Savior, and my heart rejoices to be exactly that for you. Your confession opens the door for me to rush in with a love that cleanses all shame and a mercy that makes all things new. The memory of your past sin, which the enemy tries to use as a weapon of condemnation against you, I want to redeem as a reminder. Let it not remind you of your shame, but let it remind you of the great and terrible price that was paid for your freedom. Let it remind you of the depth of my love, that while you were still lost in that failure, my Son died for you. Your past failure does not serve to condemn you. It serves to magnify the cross. Now listen, for this is the secret. Your weakness is a magnet for my strength. Your emptiness is the perfect vessel for my fullness. Your failure is the black velvet against which the diamond of my grace shines most brightly. Stop trying to hide your weakness from me. I already know it. Instead, offer it to me. Say to me, I am weak. I have failed. I cannot do this without you. And watch what happens. My power will rush into that void. The world celebrates strength, but I inhabit weakness. Your greatest moments of impact will not come from your successes, but from the places where my power is made perfect in your confessed and surrendered failure. It is not a coincidence. It is my divine economy. My beloved, you have just stood with me in the holy ground of your past failures and felt the overwhelming power of my grace. Your heart feels this grace now and asks, how can I respond? This is your divine opportunity. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal links in the description, you pour out the oil of my healing grace on another soul who feels disqualified by their own shame. Your gift becomes a river of my mercy, carrying the message that no failure is final. I declared, give, and it will be given to you. And I promise the measure of grace you show will be returned to you, pressed down and overflowing in your own life. This moment of gratitude is your chance to release my power. I will multiply what you sow, turning the memory of your failures into monuments of my favor. Now give. Pour out the grace I have so freely given you. Stay here with me, in this gentle space of grace. I have just cradled your greatest failures in my hands and shown you they are monuments to my love for you. Can you feel how tender this moment is between us? To leave now would be like pulling away from a loving father's embrace just as the deepest healing begins. My heart aches to show you more. There are still mysteries you carry, questions that haunt you. Do not walk away with them alone. Let me speak to you of them. I am not finished comforting you. My child, your mind is a beautiful and curious thing I created. It seeks to understand, to connect the dots, to solve the puzzles of your life. And so you come to me with your questions, the most persistent and painful of which is why. You have looked at the suffering in your life and in the world, and the why has echoed in the chambers of your heart, sometimes feeling like a cry into an empty sky. I am not angry at your questions. I am not afraid of them. But I am asking you to learn to find peace in the mystery, to trust my heart even when you cannot trace my hand. There are things I withhold from you, not to frustrate you, but to protect you. Your human frame can only bear so much knowledge. To know everything I know would crush you. You desire to know the future, but that knowledge would rob you of the daily trust and dependence upon me that is the very source of your spiritual life. Your desire to know everything stems from your desire for control, but my call is for you to find freedom and trust. Some of your questions will only be answered in eternity. On this earth, you are called to walk by faith, not by sight. Faith is not the absence of questions. It is the choice to trust me in the midst of them. It is believing that I am good, even when your circumstances are not. It is clinging to my character when you cannot comprehend my plan. A haunting why that follows you is not a sign of your weak faith. It is an invitation to fall more deeply into my arms and trust that the one who holds you is good, loving, and sovereign over all things. I command you, my child, to embrace the mystery. Do not see it as a void, but as a sacred space. It is in the unknown, in the unanswered question, that your faith is stretched beyond its comfortable limits and made strong. It is easy to trust me when everything makes sense. But the faith that delights my heart is the faith that trusts me in the dark, the faith that sings psalms in the night, the faith that believes in the goodness of the weaver even when looking at the tangled, messy underside of the tapestry. Think of it this way. A God who could be fully understood by your human mind would not be a God worthy of your worship. Such a God would be small, contained, and predictable. But I am not small. My ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. The mystery is not a sign of my absence. It is the evidence of my greatness. So bring me your questions. Lay them at my feet. But then, let them go. Release your need to understand everything and choose instead to trust the one who does. That is the path of peace. That is the walk of faith. My beloved, for so long we have spoken of the purpose in your pain and the lessons in your trials. These are deep and necessary truths. But do not ever think that my relationship with you is only about endurance and refinement. I am not only the God of your necessity. I am the God of abundance and sheer, unadulterated delight. My heart overflows with a desire to see you joyful, to surprise you with goodness, to lavish you with a love that is not only sustaining, but also exhilarating. Think of those moments that came out of nowhere. The sudden, unexpected good news that changed the course of your day. The gift that arrived, unasked for, yet perfectly suited to a secret desire of your heart. That moment of pure, bubbling, childlike joy that ambushed you for no reason at all. You may have dismissed these as happy flukes, but I want you to see them for what they truly are. They are kisses from heaven, my child. They are my winks from across the universe. Little love notes tucked into the pockets of your ordinary days to remind you that you are seen, cherished, and on my mind. I love to surprise my children. I delight in giving you good gifts that you did not ask for and certainly did not earn. Why? Because that is the nature of grace. These are not rewards for your good behavior. They are expressions of my good character. These bonus blessings are designed to remind you of my personal, tender affection for you. They are to keep your heart soft, to keep you looking for my hand not just in the dramatic rescue, but in the gentle kindness of a normal afternoon. They are proof that I care not just about your holiness, but also about your happiness. I have a command for you when these moments arrive. Do not analyze them. Do not try to figure out what you did to deserve them. You did nothing. Simply receive them. Open your hands and your heart and let the warmth of my unearned favor wash over you. Bask in the moment. Laugh out loud. Let your heart be light. Gratitude is the only proper response to a gift. These moments are pure grace, and your simple, joyful acceptance is a beautiful act of worship to me. And you must know, your joy is a weapon. The enemy thrives in an atmosphere of gloom, despair, and anxiety. He cannot stand the sound of my children's genuine laughter. Your joy is a declaration of trust in my goodness. It is a confident shout in the face of your circumstances that says, my God is good, and He is for me. So when I arm you with these unexpected moments of joy, I am equipping you for the battle. Your laughter is a war cry. Your happy heart is a fortress that the enemy cannot breach. So embrace these gifts. They are not trivial. They are holy, they are powerful, and they are a glimpse of the endless joy that awaits you in my presence. My child, you live in a world that often treats the body as a machine to be managed or a shell to be decorated. But I want to speak to you about the profound, sacred truth of your physical being. Your body is not a cosmic accident. I knit you together in your mother's womb. Every cell, every nerve, every heartbeat was fearfully and wonderfully made by me. It is not merely a house for your spirit. It is a holy temple, a place where my spirit dwells, and it is a canvas upon which I display my signs and wonders. Think of the time of physical ailment that plagued you. The one doctors struggled to explain, simply vanished. The healing that defied medical explanation was not a spontaneous remission. It was a sign of my restorative power. It was my hand reaching into your very cells and declaring, be whole. I am Jehovah Rapha, the God who heals you. I wanted to give you a tangible, undeniable sign of my power over all brokenness, in your body and in your soul. Remember the time you were utterly exhausted, at the very end of your strength, with a vital task still before you. And then, a sudden, unexplainable burst of energy flowed through you, enabling you to complete what was needed. That was not just an adrenaline rush, my child. It was a direct infusion of my strength. I poured my supernatural energy into your natural weakness so that you could accomplish my purpose. It was a physical reminder that when you are weak, I am strong, and my power is made perfect in your limitations. The very way your body has endured stress and strain, how it has carried you through seasons of sorrow and labor, is a testament to the resilience I knit into your very being. Do not curse your body for its weaknesses. Honor it for the incredible strength it has shown. And that deep, unshakable peace that sometimes settles in your heart during a crisis, the peace that slows your breathing and calms your racing pulse. That is my Holy Spirit ministering to your whole person, spirit, soul, and body. My peace is not just an abstract concept. It is a spiritual reality with physical consequences. So, I command you, listen to your body. It is my temple, and I often speak through its needs. Its need for rest is my call for you to trust me. Its need for nourishment is my call for you to receive my provision. Its need for peace is my call for you to enter into my presence. Take care of this gift I have given you. Honor it, and never forget the miracle that you are. You are not just flesh and bone. You are a walking, talking miracle, a vessel of ordinary clay carrying the priceless, divine treasure of my own spirit. See yourself, as I see you, a living sign of my presence on this earth. My child, there is a name that comes to your mind that still carries the sting of a deep wound. There is a face you see in your memory that makes your heart grow hard and your stomach tighten. I know the pain they caused you. I saw every tear. I felt every tremor of your broken heart. And now, I am calling you to an act of immense courage and supernatural power. The person I am calling you to forgive is your divine assignment and liberation, and the freedom you will find is your own. Listen very carefully. When I call you to forgive, I am not asking you to say, what you did was okay. It was not okay. It was a violation, and I saw it in its full ugliness. Forgiveness is not the erasure of a wrong. It is the release of your right to vengeance. When you release that person, you are not letting them off the hook. You are taking them off of your hook and placing them onto mine. You are trusting me to be the righteous judge, to handle the situation with perfect justice and wisdom, freeing you from the crushing burden of carrying that judgment yourself. Unforgiveness is a poison you drink, hoping the other person will die. It is a prison you meticulously build for yourself, brick by painful brick, and then you lock the door from the inside. You think you are punishing your offender, but you are the one who is trapped. The bitterness corrodes your joy, the resentment steals your peace, and the anger consumes your energy. I love you too much to leave you in that prison. Forgiveness is the key I have given you. The act of turning that key may be the hardest thing you ever do, but it is the only way to walk out into the freedom I have for you. Think back. There may have been a time you chose to obey me in this, when you spoke forgiveness even when your feelings screamed in protest. Do you remember what happened in your spirit in that moment? A major spiritual stronghold was broken in your life. A weight you had carried for so long was lifted. And notice what happened afterward. New doors of blessing began to open. New relationships flourished. Your own heart began to heal. That was not a coincidence. That was the direct result of your obedience. Forgiveness clears the channel for my grace to flow freely in and through your life. The foundation for all of this is the forgiveness you yourself have received. You owed me a debt so massive you could never have repaid it in a million lifetimes. And on the cross, I looked at you and said, paid in full. I canceled your infinite debt. Now I turn to you, showing you the small debts others owe you, and I ask, as you have been forgiven, will you not also forgive? This is your opportunity to demonstrate the gospel. Do. Speak the words out loud, even if your heart is not there yet. Choose to release them into my hands. I will do the rest. I will heal your heart, and I will set you gloriously, beautifully free. My child, I have been calling you. You have felt the gentle pull on your spirit, the whisper of a new direction, the invitation to step out of the boat and onto the water. Would you hesitate? Your heart pounds, your palms sweat, and 1,000 what-ifs flood your mind. You look at the comfortable, predictable shore you are standing on, and then you look at the unknown, churning waters I am calling you to, and you are afraid. I want you to know this. The fear you feel when I call you to a new thing is normal. It is human. But the courage to act in spite of that fear is supernatural, and it is a gift I am offering you right now. I understand your desire to see the entire plan before you take the first step. You want a detailed map, a signed contract, a guarantee of success. But that is not the way of faith. I will not show you the entire staircase. I am only asking you to trust me enough to take the next step. I will illuminate the single step in front of you. When you place your foot upon it in obedience, I will then illuminate the next one and the next. This is how we will walk together in a beautiful, moment-by-moment dance of trust and revelation. Every single time you step out of your comfort zone in obedience to my call, you are expanding the territory of your faith. Your comfort zone may feel safe, but nothing truly alive can grow there. It is on the edges, in the risk, in the unknown, that your faith is stretched and strengthened. With each step of obedience, your capacity to trust me grows, and your ability to hear my voice becomes clearer. The story of your life, the one that will be told for eternity, is written one brave yes at a time. You ask, but what about the provision? I don't have what I need for where you are calling me. My child, I am the God of just-in-time provision. The resources you need for the next step will often not appear until your foot is already in the air. I provided manna for my people one day at a time. I am teaching you to live in daily dependence on me. If I gave you everything you needed for the entire journey all at once, you would be tempted to trust in the provision rather than the provider. Take the step. My provision will meet you there. It always has. If you are still afraid, I command you to look back. Look back at every single time in your life you have stepped out in faith for me. Remember the fear you felt then. Now look at the outcome. Have I ever let you fall? Have I ever abandoned you? Has my word ever failed? Your own history is a museum of my faithfulness. Let the memories of my past provision be the fuel for your present courage. Now, turn back to the water. I am still here, my hand outstretched. The fear is real, but I am realer. Take the next step. I will be there to catch you. Yes, my warrior. I feel the courage rising in your heart. But the call to step out is only the beginning. It would sadden me if you took this spark of courage I have given you, but left before I could show you how I intend to grow it into a blazing fire. Every small step of faith you take is building something magnificent, a spiritual inheritance that compounds with eternal interest. Do not leave before you understand the glorious legacy you are building. The most encouraging truths are still to come. Stay with me just a little while longer. My precious one, you live in a world that worships the grand gesture, the big breakthrough, the overnight success. And so you often look at your own life, with its small, quiet, daily acts of obedience, and you wonder if any of it truly matters. You choose kindness when it is difficult. You speak truth when it would be easier to remain silent. You spend a few moments in prayer when you are tired. You give a small amount when your own resources are tight. These acts feel insignificant, like tiny drops in a vast ocean. But I am the God who sees every drop, and I am here to tell you a profound secret of my kingdom. Your small, daily acts of faithfulness are not being lost. They are compounding, like spiritual interest, into a massive eternal inheritance. What you do in private is more important to me than what you do in public. The character you build in the unseen moments, when no one is watching, is what I will reward openly. The world may applaud the final performance, but I am the one who sees the daily rehearsals. I see the choice to forgive in the quiet of your heart. I see the battle for integrity fought in your mind. I see the whispered prayer for an enemy. It is in these small, hidden choices that your true devotion is proven and your spiritual foundation is solidified. Remember my principle. To the one who is faithful in little things, I will entrust much. This is the economy of my kingdom. You look at your life and you desire more influence, more responsibility, more of my blessing. I tell you, the path to much is through faithfulness in the little. Do not despise the small assignment I have given you today. Be faithful with the relationships you have now. Be a good steward of the resources you have now. Be obedient to the truth I have shown you now. Your faithfulness in your current season is the very thing that qualifies you for promotion in the next. Have you noticed something? The more you look for my hand in your life, the more you see it. The coincidences become more frequent and more obvious to the one who is actively looking. This is because a life of obedience creates a spiritual momentum. Your daily choices to trust me, to listen to me, and to obey me create a powerful current of grace in your life that attracts my blessings, my opportunities, and my divine interventions. You are not starting from zero each day. You are building on the foundation of yesterday's trust. Every yes to me makes the next yes easier. Every act of faith builds on the last. So I command you, do not grow weary in doing good. Do not despise the day of small beginnings. Value the small yes. See the immense power in your daily, consistent choices. You are not just getting through your days. You are building a legacy. You are accumulating an eternal weight of glory. Your quiet, consistent faithfulness is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It is not spectacular, but it is supernatural. And it is beautiful in my sight. My beloved, you believe that our conversation is limited to your waking hours, to the times you consciously set aside to pray or read my word. But your relationship with me does not cease when you close your eyes to sleep. In fact, when your busy, analytical mind is finally still and your defenses are down, I often have the greatest opportunity to speak to your unguarded heart. Do not dismiss the supernatural, my child, for you serve a supernatural God, and I will use every moment, sleeping and waking, to communicate my love to you. Remember that dream you had, the one that was so vivid, so real. It may have been a dream that brought you a profound sense of peace that lingered long after you woke up. Or perhaps it was a dream that presented a creative solution to a problem you had been wrestling with for weeks. You woke up and marveled at the workings of your own mind, but I am telling you, that was my ministry to you. While your body rested, I was at work in your spirit, mending your anxieties, downloading my wisdom, and giving your soul the rest and reassurance it craved. I can bypass the doubt and noise of your waking mind to speak truth directly to your spirit in the quiet sanctuary of the night. Have you ever had a recurring dream? One that plays out over and over, leaving you with a persistent feeling you cannot shake. Do not ignore this. A recurring dream is often my invitation to pay attention. It can be a call for you to pray into a specific area, a warning about a path you are on, or a theme I am trying to impress upon your spirit. Do not be afraid of these dreams. Bring them to me. Ask me for the interpretation. Pay attention to the symbols, and more importantly, the feelings the dream evokes. I am the one who gave Joseph the wisdom to interpret dreams, and I will give you the understanding you need as well. Our conversation continues even in the mysteries of the night. My child, from the beginning of time, I have spoken to my people through dreams and visions. I spoke to Jacob at Bethel, to Joseph in a prison cell, to Daniel in a king's court, to Peter on a rooftop. I have not stopped. The language of heaven is not limited to what your ears can hear. It is also in what the eyes of your spirit can see. I want you to expect these encounters, to create space for them, to honor them as valid and holy communication from me. So tonight, when you lay your head down to rest, I want you to do something new. Invite me into your dreams. Surrender your sleep to me. Say, Father, speak to me tonight. My spirit is listening. Do not be surprised when I answer, and do not be afraid of what I show you. Whether it is a dream of comfort, a vision of guidance, or a conviction of truth, it is always an expression of my intimate, personal, loving involvement in your life. It is not a coincidence. It is my celestial communication. My child, you are so often focused on the immediate, on the tasks of today and the worries of tomorrow. You long for your life to matter, to count for something, but you measure your impact by what you can see right now. Today, I want to lift your gaze from the temporary and show you the eternal. I want you to understand that the way you are living your life is creating a legacy that will echo into generations you will never meet. You are building something far greater than you know. Your life is a sermon you preach every single day. The people in your world, your family, your coworkers, your neighbors, are reading you far more than they are reading my word. The way you respond to pressure, the way you extend forgiveness, the way you speak with integrity, the way you love when it's difficult, that is the gospel in flesh and blood. You are a living letter from me to a watching world. Your quiet, consistent faithfulness is a more powerful message than 1,000 eloquent speeches. You are showing them who I am, and the seeds of faith you are planting, often without even realizing it. The prayer you whisper for your children each night, the story you tell a young person about my faithfulness, the example of grace you set in your home. You see these as small, simple acts, but I see them as powerful seeds being planted in fertile soil. These seeds will take root and bear fruit long after you are gone. You are creating a legacy not of earthly wealth, which fades, but of eternal impact. You are beginning a chain reaction of faith that will be passed down from heart to heart through your descendants and your community. The story of your life, with all its divinely orchestrated coincidences, is not just for you. It is a story that you are meant to tell, and it is a story that will be told by others to inspire faith long after you are home with me. Your testimony of my provision in your lack, my strength in your weakness, and my healing in your pain will become a beacon of hope for others who are walking through their own dark valleys. Your obedience today is creating a pathway of blessing for those who will follow you. See yourself, my beloved, as a single, vital link in a divine chain that stretches from the dawn of time into eternity. You connect the faithfulness of those who came before you to the hope of those who will come after you. Your role is essential. The chain is weaker without you. So live with intention. Live with the knowledge that your choices matter eternally. The way you love, the way you trust, the way you obey me in the small things, it is all forging a legacy of light for the future. This is not a coincidence. This is your divine inheritance and responsibility. And now, my child, breathe deeply. I want to give you the single greatest promise you can hold on to in this life. It is the master key that unlocks the meaning behind every closed door, every painful trial, every confusing detour, and every unexpected joy. It is the truth that holds the entire tapestry of your life together. Listen to me now, for this is not optimism. It is a divine guarantee, rooted in my sovereign power and my unwavering, passionate love for you. I am weaving every single event of your life, the good that you celebrate, the bad that you mourn, and the confusing that you question, into a beautiful, perfect, and purposeful tapestry of good. You stand too close to the weaving. From your perspective, all you can see is a tangled mess of threads on the underside. You see knots of pain, chaotic colors of confusion, and threads that seem to have been cut short. It looks messy and meaningless, and you cannot understand how anything beautiful could come from it. But I see the tapestry from above. I see the finished side. And I tell you, every single thread, even the dark and painful ones, is essential to the breathtaking beauty of the final picture. The pain you have endured is being redeemed, woven into the pattern to create depth and shadow that makes the threads of joy shine even more brightly. The waiting you have hated has been producing a thread of endurance, a deep and rich color that has become the foundation of the entire work. The joy you have celebrated has been a foretaste of heaven, threads of pure gold that hint at the glory of the final design. Every coincidence we have spoken of has been a deliberate pass of my shuttle, weaving another line, another shape, another hue into your story. Nothing has been random. Nothing has been wasted. This is my promise to you. It is the bedrock of your faith. When you cannot understand your circumstances, you can stand on this truth. When you cannot see the path ahead, you can rest in this guarantee. When your heart is breaking and nothing makes sense, you can hold on to this promise. This is the ultimate answer to your deepest why. The answer is not an explanation of the details. The answer is a revelation of my character. Because I am good, and because you love me and are called according to my purpose, the outcome is not in doubt. It will be good. So I command you, my child, trust the weaver. Even when you cannot see the pattern, trust my hands. Even when you hate the color of the thread I am using, trust my heart. I am the master artist, and I am making something beautiful and eternal with your life. You do not need to understand the process. You only need to trust the artist. The final picture will only be fully visible from an eternal perspective, but the process is happening right now. And it is good. It is not a coincidence. It is my sovereign, redemptive promise. My child, our conversation has taken us through the landscape of your entire life, from the past to the present, and now to the future. Your whole life is a journey, and every step, every turn, every valley and mountaintop hath been guided by my loving hand, and every journey has a destination. The deep, unshakable longing in your soul, the one we spoke of at the very beginning, that homing signal for a place you have never seen. That is the longing for your true home. That is the longing for me. I have placed eternity in your heart, a holy ache that nothing on this earth can fully satisfy, so that you would never become too comfortable here. You are a pilgrim, a traveler, an ambassador in a foreign land. Your true citizenship is in heaven, and your life is the journey home. I want you to know that your final breath on this earth is nothing to fear. It will not be an end. It will be a transition. It will be a doorway. Your final breath here will be your first glorious breath in eternity. It is not a departure, but an arrival. It is the ultimate divine appointment, the one toward which all the other coincidences and appointments have been leading. All the events of your life, all the trials, all the joys, all the lessons, all the mysteries, have been preparing you for one single, glorious moment, the moment when you will see me face to face. In that moment, faith will become sight. In that moment, every question will be answered, not with words, but with the overwhelming reality of my presence. Then, you will finally see the tapestry in its fullness. I will turn it over, and you will gasp at the beauty, the intricacy, the sheer perfection of the design. You will see how the darkest threads were necessary for the brightest colors. You will see how every single event, every person, every joy, and every sorrow was woven together with breathtaking artistry. And you will understand with perfect, joyful clarity that not a single moment of your life was an accident. You will see that it was all grace, all purpose, all love. So until that day, my beloved, I give you this final command: walk in faith. Do not be afraid. Know that I am with you, guiding you, protecting you, and preparing you for our great reunion. The very best is yet to come. This is not a hopeful wish, but a blood-bought certainty. It is not a coincidence. It is your glorious, eternal destiny. My child, you now see your life not as a series of accidents, but as a guided journey to your eternal home with me. You have prayed, Lord, let my life have eternal significance. This is your moment to act on that prayer. Every gift you plant through super thanks or membership is a seed sown for an eternal harvest, helping another soul find their place in my grand story and begin their own journey home. Your support does not just build a platform, it builds my everlasting kingdom, one redeemed life at a time. My word is true, give, and it will be given to you, and I will credit it to your heavenly account as treasure that will never fade. Your act of faith right now, through the buttons here or the PayPal links below, will echo into eternity. Now so, invest in what lasts forever, and partner with me in gathering my children home. My beloved child, our time of speaking in this way is drawing to a close for now, but our walk together is eternal. We have journeyed through the landscape of your life, and I have pulled back the curtain to show you my hand where you once saw only chance, and my purpose where you once felt only pain. You are beginning to see the golden threads. Now, I invite you to make this truth a stone of remembrance in your own heart. Let this not be a fleeting feeling that fades with the day, but a conscious, firm declaration of faith. In the space provided for your words below this message, I want you to speak back to me and to the community of my children who are listening with you. Declare your belief in this beautiful truth. Let your words be an anchor for your soul and a beacon for others. You can write, "It was not a coincidence. It was your love." Or you can share one small coincidence from your life where you can now clearly see my hand. If your heart is full and your words are few, a simple and powerful declaration of "I see you, Lord" is a beautiful act of worship. Your declaration is more than just a comment. It is your personal amen to my promises. It is your flag of faith, planted firmly on the holy ground of this understanding. As you share, your testimony becomes a thread of hope in another's tapestry, a light that helps them find their way. Go now and live in the profound peace that comes from knowing nothing is random, and that you are perfectly and intentionally loved. Amen. If you believe in me, your Heavenly Father, then like this video and leave a heartfelt amen in the comments. If you want to stay closer to me, then subscribe to this channel.